So we're at the 20th Century Fox logo.
Yep, we're watching...
we're watching the special edition
of Aliens.
Aliens,
plural. The seminal James Cameron sequel to the equally seminal
1979 Ridley Scott masterpiece. Yeah.
You love that film.
I do love that film. I am, yeah.
It's
my Citizen Kane.
The reason we're doing Aliens is because I haven't actually seen Alien for a while, because it's not my favourite one of the batch, which some people will cry heresy at.
Heresy!
Like you.
It is heresy. Aliens is great, but it's not Alien.
All right. Well, we're doing an alternate commentary.
Very alternate.
Very alternate commentary.
Like two people who know very little about the film, just like it.
Of Aliens. So line your DVD up to the 20th Century Fox logo, the classic 20th Century.
The classic one, not the one at the beginning of the DVD before the menus.
Yeah.
But the one with the slightly off 0 on the 20.
I really do miss.
Now
I'm always going to see that.
Have you never noticed that?
No,
the perspective's wrong.
It
looks fine from me because I got an angle to the TV.
Oh, son of a bitch! Now I'm always going to see that. I really like that old illustrated 20th Century Fox logo.
It's obvious why they changed it.
Now I'm always going to see the glaring
the
error.
The perspective's wrong on the.
Oh, screw it! I'm going to press play.
Okay,
pressing play.
Yeah, 20th Century Fox. Play. Go.
It's just something nicer about the illustrated version than the.
There is, yeah. I must admit, there's something like loses a bit of soul. The CG always does. So this is the cool bit with like the little military drum beat thing, and it gradually builds up the weird glowing fly style logo for Aliens.
Did they stick with that one, or did they all change it to something slightly more digital? I can't remember.
They're different in all of them. The opening credits different in every single one.
Yeah, they went for
Resurrection's got that weird thing as it flies through like meat or something.
In the original one, it gradually built up the word alien. Bits. This one has that sort of slightly blue.
It's kind of. I want to say like digital, projected on a grid or something, and it gradually forms into aliens.
It does sort of make it feel more military.
And then does the. And it goes white, and then you're in space.
It does feel more military than the.
Yeah, the picture quality is shocking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We are watching this on a DVD through a high-def TV.
But you know, like one of the reasons, like Cameron mentions, I think it might actually be on a commentary for this, where he talks about. God, but this is bad. We're rehashing the commentary from the DVD. But he mentions the fact that he saw it recently and was really angry at the picture quality. And it's actually because Kodak changed their film processing technique around the time of the making of this film.
Really?
Yeah. And it's actually like super grainy and bad.
I don't actually mind.
It's like it's probably enhanced even more by the fact that it's on DVD. Like Star Wars, you can now see all the matte lines around the TIE fighters.
Yeah, but
so much better. Yeah, look how much better it is. We've got a shit like CG fucking Jabba the Hutt, and you can tell that all the spaceships are like cutouts and stuff.
It's just I don't mind the sort of grain on film like that. I feel it adds something.
It's totally fine. But like, there's some weird shit going on, and there's a lot of like artifacting and shit.
So here we are.
I think your black balance is fucked, to be honest, because like the blacks are kind of grey, which is really odd. But it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. Do you know I had to re-replicate all this because nobody had any like documentation?
So they had to rebuild the interior of the ship.
Yeah.
How can they not have had any documentation? Didn't they send off a whole heap of documentation to whichever company's making the current Alien game?
Yeah, but at the time, like when this was made, they gave Cameron nothing.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Is it a Star Wars moment? Giant ship, tiny ship.
Yeah. Still cool stuff. I love the attention to detail though, because the grapple gun that she used to kill the alien in the first one is still stuck in the door. Because it closed on it, and I love that. It's like it's just Cameron through and through.
Well, sticking with continuity.
I watched the crap out of the first film, and I'll make my sequel awesome.
But I mean, this sequel doesn't feel like it has anything to do with the previous one. I mean, obviously it's the same character, but it tells a different story.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of what you're supposed to do with a sequel, really, not rehash the same material again and again.
Well, I mean, it doesn't.
And he did have it easy because, like, you know, it was the first sequel. You could introduce a whole bunch of shit. There's like nothing you can do now. It's all kind of been done.
I like the fact that at this point you've no idea who's picked her up because you have not. The only human you've seen is Ripley, and she's on ice.
Yeah.
So who the hell are these guys?
I was seeing something I was talking about this the other day, and something about the fact that if you think how fast technology advances now, and it's like she's been out there for 57 years.
I thought it was 70.
It's 57.
Is it 57?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like there's the you know, to the people picking her up. I mean, she may as well have come off a steamship. Do you know what I mean? It's like the world that she came out of.
Well, think how far our stuff's moved on just within the last 50 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it goes up and up exponentially.
Where would 50
every
years put
century it doubles or something like
50 years would put us where? The 60s?
Yeah.
At this point?
Yeah.
I'd hate to live in the 60s. I'll take the 50s, but not the 60s. 60s.
If you don't know what our 60s are going to be like. We're in the 20s now, Phil, which is pretty cool.
We're not in the 20s yet.
Nearly.
Nearly. We're 6 years away from that.
1914.
I don't like the thought of calling the 2020s the 20s.
No. It undermines the originals.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a shitty remake.
This guy looks familiar. That guy that took his helmet off there. He looks like an actor who's actually quite young.
He probably is an
moment.
actor.
No, he looks like an actor these days who appears to be the same age. It can't be, but it could be a relative.
Well, you don't know. Some of them don't age too badly. There was a thing at one of the recent Comic-Cons where they got all the cast back together for this, and there was like photos of them all together. And
do they look as creaky as
Sigourney Weaver really has aged the best.
She has. She looks.
Her
really
and Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton looks pretty good as well.
Actually, Bill Paxton cropped up recently in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. No, I don't actually. I missed that. But yeah, the rest of them are like, wow, okay.
But I mean, you can
really
tell Bill Paxton. You can tell that he's older, but he does look virtually the same.
Exactly. Well, it's like
he looks a bit chunky.
Sigourney Weaver's older, but she still looks pretty good.
I don't get the turned up collar thing.
It's the future.
It's the future. Well, I guess
it's the easiest way of making it look like the future. Because wouldn't you hate it if they didn't have suits? It's like people are always going to have suits.
There's always going to be some kind of suit.
It's just like some, that's in at the moment. It's like a little fashion thing, isn't it?
I guess it's slightly better than the Back to the Future 2 where they wore 2 ties.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, come on. He walks in like fucking gold Lurex or something.
Yeah, it would
because it's the future.
It would kind of undermine the film a bit if he walked in looking sparkly.
But it's like it's a visual thing as well, isn't it? You know exactly who this guy is straight away. Oh, look, a yuppie. And his name tells you everything, Burke.
Yeah. I don't think Burke translates into American in the same way.
For any Americans listening, it pretty much means jackass.
Yeah.
Hey, jackass!
If you are described as a Burke by a Brit, they're not passing you a compliment.
No, it's not a good thing. You're out there for 57 years. Yeah.
I'm not quite sure I like what they did here.
Technically, you're ancient.
I'm not quite sure I like what they did here. I'm never a big fan of dream sequences.
Oh, I love dream sequences. I absolutely adore them. Now, if I could make a whole film that's just like a dream, I would.
Well, like Inception.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I just feel it's a really cheap way of doing things.
Oh, it's just fucking with the audience, which is fine.
Yeah, I guess
it's fine.
Because everyone except this guy obviously knows what's about to happen. Anyone who's seen the previous film.
Well, yeah, I mean that's it. And there's that idea as well that Ridley Scott talked about in the first one, with the idea that at this point it's still not 100% sure how it's transmitted. There could be other ways of it being transmitted and stuff.
I'd never thought about that. I mean, I thought the biology of the thing was fairly well established in the first film.
What's interesting is if you read some of the stuff that Ridley Scott talks about in the first, about how he saw the alien in the first film, you start to get Prometheus. And the idea that the xenomorph is one interpretation of a strand of mutagenic DNA, and it will never be the same.
It's a constant.
Every time you see it, it's different, and the reason that he says it like that is like the one in Alien is a combination of the jockey DNA and human DNA, and then ones in this are a combination of jockey DNA and human DNA, but the one in Alien 3 is human DNA and dog DNA.
Well, that would explain
because
why it's
the eggs
changing.
Come from a queen which was born of humans. So it's the next step along. And then Alien Resurrection again, it's got the dog DNA carried on, so it has the double-jointed legs and everything, and it's just this whole strand of evolution thing.
Do you think the people that made Alien 3 and onward actually had that in mind, or was it?
No, I don't think so, but I think it fits really well.
It does fit in really well. It's a really good concept. I mean, it means you can do anything with it.
It also means that Prometheus makes a lot more sense.
Here we have the future bureaucracy, which seems to be pretty much the same as contemporary bureaucracy.
He's obviously aligned with the Labour Party with the use of his red tie. That's appeared twice now. He loves that red tie.
Limited wardrobe.
There's a deleted scene here, or a scene that was never filmed, where Jones was supposed to jump at the screen because he's chasing a bird, and that's how they revealed that it was on a screen, but they could never get him to do it. Also, pointlessly, that's actually Sigourney Weaver's mum.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
so they can get the aging right.
I thought that when I heard about the game that they're working on, I thought it was a really good idea to follow
Isolation.
Yeah.
That's really lovely.
Yeah, that's a title.
They've actually managed to make it canon as well. It really works.
I've seen the trailers and playthroughs now of that, and it does look a really choice game.
Absolutely fantastic.
It looks like it's straight out of the.
It's literally straight out of the 70s, isn't it? It's just like, I think it's set 20 years after the first film. So while Ripley's floating around in space.
I mean, I've mentioned it in previous things. I really like tactile technology.
Yeah, no, totally. There's something about the first three Alien films.
And the fact everyone's smoking. Everyone has a fag in their mouth. And that's going to sound really wrong to the American listeners.
Yeah. Yeah. It's British colloquialism for cigarette. She's even got a cigarette case. I mean, how cool is that? How cool is she? I don't even like smoking, but it looks amazing in films. She's opening it, she's going for another one.
I mean, it just...
There's the guy in the corner who's barely awake. It's like, how many hours? One guy's doing a crossword. How many hours have they been at this?
They've got little styrofoam cups of coffee all over the place.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
She's obviously gone over this 1,000 times now. I'd be as fed up as her.
But I mean, like, Cameron, I think, was an ideal director for this because he's very grounded in reality in the way that he presents his worlds. He has, like, fantastical ideas, but they're always, like, in a world that feels...
believable.
Really real, yeah.
It feels like everything should be just so.
And it's... You know, Scott did that. Really went out of his way to do that. In the first
that's
film.
the key to any good fantasy or science fiction story.
You know, I mean, that's
to sort
why
of
I think
give an air of familiarity to sort of draw the viewers in.
Yeah, it's like, I get all of this. It doesn't matter that it's set in space. It's like, we get it. You know,
she works for a company, and the company is trying to lay blame at her feet.
Corporate assholes,
arse covers, who don't want to take responsibility for what happened.
Well, they're not going to admit it to some peon anyway. They know exactly what happened. They're going to give, you know, she'll sue them. Never admit responsibility. If they could deny the existence of the Nostromo at all, they probably would. They probably have been up until this point. What spaceship? What?
Yeah, wasn't Bert going on earlier about her blowing up a very expensive spaceship, and then she says, well, they can build me.
Yeah. I think so, yeah, if it's not in this scene.
It must have already happened, okay.
And kiss all this bullshit goodbye. Yeah. Well...
I mean, it is a difficult...
You're suspended, and there's going to be, like, psychologists and shit. Because you're nuts.
The thing is, have other aliens been found in this universe? In the Aliens universe, because it's hinted at that there's been...
It all depends on what is canon and what isn't, because like if you start putting the AVP films in, it really
ignoring those. If we look upon Aliens as a self-contained thing with no other interference from any other franchises, have other aliens been found? Because the Colonial Marines later on refer to something like a bug hunt, which sort of makes you think there have been sort of.
Well, if you take some of the original concepts, like the downed space jockey spaceship being like a weapons transport or whatever it is, like a biological weapons transport ship, then where was that destined for? You know, if it was supposed to drop those things like bombs essentially on a planet, you know, then space is huge, and there's the possibility that someone somewhere has come across them. And I like to think of it like rumours. Like, you know, like the old seafaring people used to go out and they come back and they tell these wild stories. And I think there's a lot of that hinted at. Like, people have seen stuff on the edges of space. There are rumours. There are stories. Ships goes missing every now and then.
So it's still that sort of frontier feel to it, where people go out into the back end and beyond, and they come back with tall tales. The idea of like having
the colonists and things like that. Space is still. They go there and they do have like industry out there, but it's not like Star Trek where every planet's got like a star base on it. You know. I think there's like 3 or 4 planets where they've got some stuff. You know.
And here we are, Hadley's Hope.
It's population 158. I swear to God, there's more. There's got to be more aliens than that. Because the way they're popping off rounds later, they killed all those in 5 minutes.
But this all was cut out of the theatrical release, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, because the studio felt it slowed the pace of the film down.
Which proves that the studios don't know jack shit about actual filmmaking.
It built it up beautifully.
Well, I mean, it gives a further sense of place.
Yeah.
And it actually lends a bit more character to Newt.
Yeah.
Because it shows where she comes from.
Yeah.
She's not just some sort of random hamster girl that randomly pops up out of
nowhere.
Yeah,
no, totally. And it also has a wonderful role by the guy who was the captain in Red Dwarf.
Yes, there he is.
Who's the head of another doomed space mission.
Yeah.
It's like if you ever end up going on a space mission and this guy's in charge...
Just jump ship. Even if it is just stepping out the airlock, you'll still have a better chance than if you're staying on board.
Am I going to get killed by radiation, or am I going to get something pink and squiggly stuck to my face?
I mean, he plays virtually the same character as well, in the sense that I really don't want to be here. I'm just going to drink my coffee, get on with my job.
Some hunch in a cushy office back on Earth says, go look at a grid reference, so we look.
It's just so blue collar.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
It's just even in the future nothing works.
Yeah. It's like, it's a shit job. I just want to get paid and go home. Who cares? Tell him if you find something, it's his. And get these kids off here.
Yeah, you referenced this bit as a nod to The Shining.
I don't know if it is, but it feels like it is. It always it just reminds me of it.
With the kid on a trike pushing it on the... Yeah. It does have an air about... I think that was just a popular type of bike.
I think it is, yeah. It's just the 70s kind of, like, you know, the big wheels were around then, you know, that's a thing. There's a little Wayland Corporation
I don't
thing.
I don't like Newt. I really hate her. She's one of my least favourite child actors.
Really? She doesn't bother me, she's fine. There are far worse.
Yeah, the worst... I do have a list of child actors, and the worst child actor is the kid that was in... I forgot the name now. Dakota Fanning in...
Oh, she can fuck right
Dakota Fanning in War of the Worlds, specifically.
Yeah, well, it's a shit film anyway.
Yeah, but
I'll
say this now. Complete tangent. She is the worst child character in any film, but because of that role, because in that film she makes you feel sorry for Tom Cruise.
Wow, that's quite an achievement.
I know, you cannot be made to feel sorry for Tom Cruise. Anyway, back to
pointless factor. Do you know why the ship is actually broken open? No. Because somebody actually got the miniature out of a bin on the back lot.
What?
It had been chucked out after the film, after Original Alien.
Again,
and somebody had salvaged it.
Studios? Stupid.
Yeah. Well, you didn't make sequels. Nobody made like a trilogy of films, you know, back in the 70s and the 80s. You made a film, that was it.
Well, it's not just that. Why they didn't... They obviously didn't capitalise on memorabilia in the same way that they do now.
I didn't get it, you know. That's why Lucas cleaned up, because nobody got it. But like,
why would you take your kids out to the back end of Beyond and then leave them in there?
Well, because there's nothing.
These
out
are
there.
bad parents.
It's fine. There's nothing out there. Sure. It's an alien spaceship. There's not going to possibly be anything bad.
I know.
Nothing bad could possibly happen. Look at it. It looks so homely.
The goggles, they do nothing.
The goggles do nothing. Yeah, that's so true. Well, that thing melted through like a 1-inch thick plexiglass space helmet. It's like nothing stopping
Yeah,
that.
but these guys haven't encountered
Once to get
it
in,
yet.
it's getting in. Do you know what I mean? There's also like one of the reasons that this film had like a fraction of the budget that the first movie had. Because he had $50,000 to make this.
Why does this feel like a bigger film then?
Because it's Cameron. But if you do watch them back to back, you can't tell. Like the amount of detail in the sets and stuff in Alien leaves us in a shade. It's just very cleverly filmed. But it had a minuscule budget even for the 80s. Because no one believed in it. You didn't make sequels. It was like, especially with science fiction, it was just like, this could tank, so we're not going to put any money in it.
I mean, obviously, standing from this point, looking in hindsight, you can't imagine anyone ever thinking this would ever fail. But
Yeah, exactly. You can't look at it and go, how can you possibly
But the thing is, how many really successful monster films had there been before this?
Yeah, especially science fiction monster movies. Like sci-fi was still, and up until probably very recently, it's you don't do it.
The longest scream in history.
Yeah. Beautiful transition now to the cigarette with the 6 inches of ash on the end of
Now,
it.
how did they accomplish it? Is that just a prop? Or did they just ask her to stand still?
While it burns down. That's how you know she's got post-traumatic stress. Like, she's got a cigarette, but she's not smoking it. All this stuff was made from like aircraft salvage. That's made out of like little.
It looks like some sort of future
toilets
tower
and things
block.
out of like old 747s and shit.
Are they back on Earth now, or are they still on the space station?
Have you done that thing yet, where you cut this together with Ghostbusters?
No.
Because I suggested it to you. Because they knock on the door and you just need to cut to the bit where Sigourney
Oh,
Weaver
right.
is like the. Are you the keymaster?
Oh, I'm so going to do that.
You totally need to do that. And then she just slams the door in her face and then cuts back. It's beautiful. Because some son of a bitch is going to get there before you. Do it before you release this. And get the drop on him. I have the futuristic coffee cups, which are just like, I don't know.
Futuristic coffee cups. I'm fairly sure my parents had stuff like that in the 80s.
Well, this is it. It's just like we've just got the weirdest 80s stuff going. See, look, it's the inside of an aircraft bathroom. Like,
yeah.
There's a little dispenser and everything. They're packing state-of-the-art firepower. There's nothing they can't handle. Well, they don't need me. She's got a point. Why would you go back?
Yeah. It's like, screw closure. I'm just not going out there.
Well, I kind of view it like the whole... You're just fiddling with her underwear or something, pal. It's really weird. I view it kind of like that bit at the beginning of Apocalypse Now, where the guy's like... He's freaking out because he's not in the fight. But when he's in the fight, he's freaking out. It's like the whole post-traumatic stress thing. You can't deal with it when you're not in it. You need the pressure again.
So yeah, you can tell.
Like, so you don't function in either situation. It's like I can't do normality anymore because,
Well, she keeps having the nightmares. That's why she calls
what's
them
the point in
latent
working
nightmares.
as a forklift driver when the world could be wiped out by space parasites at any minute? Face raping space parasites.
And the fact that she feels she's pretty much the only one that can deal with it because no one else believes it.
If only the cat could talk. I'd be like, shit, yeah? It wiped out everybody. Give me a cigarette.
Yeah, I've mentioned this before as well. The cat is the only survivor of the Nostromo.
Yeah, well, yeah. It is.
Everyone else dies.
I love Jones. Jones is awesome.
That looks like the most expensive business card in history. There's a single...
But you know what's frightening is that, like, Starbucks have things like that as their loyalty cards, and you're just like, how much money are you making? the loyalty card can be this piece of like engraved plexiglass. It's like everyone else has got a piece of flimsy card that gets a rubber stamp. Or with Starbucks. Here, have a platinum business card.
Well, you've seen the prices of Starbucks.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Actually, yeah. If this film was made now, everything would be labelled with Starbucks. Or some other similar franchise.
Be Disney buying up everything else. They're gonna like merge with Microsoft and they'll become Wayland Yutani.
Oh god.
Because they'll own everything. They own nearly every media franchise on the planet.
See, tactile technology. I mean, it's so...
Yeah, it takes up half a table.
Yeah, this is just... What is that? That's just a phone.
Yeah. It has one function.
To call him.
Yeah. I always love that little look over the shoulder. It's like,
who else is there?
With him? Yeah.
I like to think it was the guy that he came in with before.
Nah, knowing that guy, it's probably two like hookers covered in cocaine.
Oh, what? It's a scene from Robocop.
Yeah, that's just happened in the background. And Paul Razor is amazing in that. He's such a douchebag. Even before you get going, you know.
He's called Burke.
It's corporate sleaze.
The clue's in the name.
Corporate sleaze.
He wears a tie with his collar up. Don't
they
trust
all do,
him.
though. Even the cat's like, really? The look on the cat's face.
You've
Jones is like, really?
You've played the game Homeworld, haven't you?
Yeah, some of it.
Some of it. But the ship's designs obviously owe a lot to
Oh, that's
Alien.
need. Yeah.
I think it was you that pointed out it's just essentially a big gun.
It is, yeah. I think it was actually Cameron's thing. He's like, I want it to look like a gun in space.
And now, ever since then, every single spaceship has looked like it. Those that...
Well, Homeworld and stuff took a lot from Ron Cobb and Sydney, like their illustration work and things. And obviously they designed a whole bunch of stuff.
They have more...
Some of those, yes, do you know that some of those guns are actually SA-80s? Because they were one of the most futuristic looking things at the time.
And now they just look retro.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's more guns in those racks than there are staff on board this ship.
There's more guns in those racks than there are aliens on that planet. You can kill them just by throwing it at them. Hand me another gun.
Like, I can't help but notice no sharp sticks.
Yeah. And I really don't think they're firing phase plasma or anything. They're bullets. Just deal with that now.
Another desk toy. They got a thing with desk toys in the Aliens franchise.
Well, yeah, I mean that is like a direct homage to the drinking birds in the first one.
Just to show it's in the future, they've gone from a drinking bird
it's just it's the same world, isn't it? Yeah. You've got a little chrome desk toy thing.
With lockers with the kick marks and stuff.
Yeah, it's a beautiful set. There's a mirror in the background to make twice as many cryopods because they didn't have the budget to make more than like 4, I think. Somebody points out that you can see like 2 sort of Sigourney Weavers or whatever, I think, at one point. There's twice as many people than they've actually got.
Actually, the Aliens films, well, Alien 1, 2, 3, all had a sort of a coloured theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one was blue.
Yeah.
The third one was sort of yellow.
Brown.
Well, the third one was sort of yellowy orange.
Golden
What was the
colour,
first one?
I
want to say beige.
Yeah, I think it probably was. The fourth one's acid green, isn't it? It's like everything.
No, the fourth one's just confused. It had everything. The fourth one
was just a god damn. It was a car wrecking at that film.
The fourth one would have benefited from a bit of focus.
Absolute train wreck. That's studio interference again, because I think like Joss Whedon's original scripts and stuff.
Well, it's Firefly just with acid, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's later on. The original scripts and stuff didn't have Ripley in it, and the studio went, well, we've got to have Ripley in it. And he went, yeah, but she's dead. It's like, how the hell?
She's as dead as you can get. Yeah, she got thrown into a furnace.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, we've seen Jurassic Park. You can bring someone back with just a couple of cells.
Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah, good luck getting
retards.
Yeah. Good luck getting that out. Something that would have vaporised every trace.
The Hispanic lady who is not Hispanic.
No. She's pretty much blacked up for this, which is a bit worrying, really.
Is she the same chick that was in Running Man?
No. It's Jeanette Goldstein. She's in Perfect Near Dark.
Yeah, I knew she was in that.
Which also has most of the cast of this in it. Lance
Yes.
Henriksen and Bill Paxton. She's in Titanic as well. She's blonde with blue eyes.
In Titanic?
In real life. She's blonde.
Was she in
blue eyes.
Titanic?
Yeah, she's in Titanic.
Was she?
Yeah. She's a third-class passenger.
I'd need it pointed out to me.
Well, she's quite old now.
I remember reading somewhere that James Cameron, after he filmed this, he actually did hang out with some Marines.
Interesting.
And he was really quite embarrassed about the way he portrayed them.
Yeah, because he'd just been writing one of the sequels, one of the Rambo films. So he'd written it all from, like, conscript point of view, as opposed to proper Marines. Yeah. So they're all, like...
They're all bitching about stuff, whereas actual Marines will just get on with stuff quietly. And then they'll snap someone's neck.
Yeah. These guys are just like, shit, man, I want to go home, this is crap.
Yeah, they're like bottom of the barrel Marines.
Yes. Discount Marines.
It's like B Company Marines.
The little scratches on the table where they've done it already. Yeah, like, how many times have they done this shot?
I was going to say, it'd be better if they were bloodstains.
Yeah, it's like someone's
not me, man,
taking
not
away
me.
a hand.
Trust me. Now, everyone's tried to do this. Was the first time that you ever tried to do this with a pair of scissors? Because it was for me, at school. Because obviously I didn't have a knife at school.
Yeah. I think compasses were the thing.
Oh, compass? Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's better than a pair of scissors.
Well, no, a pair of scissors are only sharp if you got them open.
You still stab someone with a pair of scissors. Run with scissors, you fool. Because compass is only going to go in like a couple of millimetres, even if it does.
I don't care.
Like, scissors are going to take your finger off. I thought you never missed, Bishop.
Spazzing out about the android.
Well, yeah. Ian Holm was a psycho in the first one.
What actually set Ian Holmes off in the first one? Because he just sort of went
mixture
nuts.
of bad programming and a whole bunch of mixed up, like, mission statements, really.
Was he actually
like protect the crew and everything, but also you've got to make sure this alien thing comes back. All other priorities are rescinded.
Actually, this is one of the reasons why we're doing Aliens rather than Alien, because I can't remember that much. I obviously can't remember a huge amount about Alien.
That might have been an interesting commentary.
Well, it would have just been you correcting me, not just stop.
I'm doing that anyway.
In the first one, were they actually sent there by the company?
Yeah.
Right. So the
Special Order 963.
So the android did have a company directive.
Yeah. Special Order 963. I think it's 963, something like that anyway.
But
bring back life form, priority 1, all other priorities rescinded.
But was that after they reported finding the life form?
No, the ship wakes them up.
To find the life form? Right.
They're halfway home and the ship has been redirected.
So they knew there was a life form there to start with?
Well, it's got a linguistical beacon that repeats every intervals. So somebody else has picked that up. They've got a rough idea of what's on the planet.
I knew they picked up the beacon.
So the next ship going by got sent there.
Right. No, I was just trying to work out why the android actually went as homicidal as he did.
Because his whole job was to bring back the creature.
Well, I know that now, but
he doesn't care if he dies.
Couldn't clarify in my head how it actually went down.
Just to make sure they didn't kill it.
They see the real Marines that actually be listening intently to everything that she says, but these guys just dismiss her outright.
How do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?
Yeah. Never mind getting chewed out by your sergeant, your co-workers have beat the crap out of you to get out of it as a Marine.
It does give them far more character, though.
Oh yeah, they need it.
It would just be grey as shit.
You can't imagine this film unless these guys are actual characters as opposed to bullet sponges. It does seem a little bit like a frat party, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then they gave him guns. It's like every one of these guys sat at the back of the class, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a reason all these guys were put on a ship and sent out into space. And it wasn't because they were good at what they do.
I mean, we don't know that much about their universe. I mean, does that happen? Are they all like criminals?
Well,
it's like you go to somewhere like Fiorona 161, or you join up. And
with the amount of influence the company seems to have, it's like they've privatized the security services.
Well, the way I always view this is it works like the Dutch East India Company. Like Weyland-Yutani is that big that they essentially
have their
own
own army.
Well, it's because the way that they had the British Navy under their thumb, because Britain's economy relied so much on the Dutch East India Company and their trade in
the East India Company.
Yeah, the East India Company. Like their trade was so pivotal for the empire's existence.
It was the first company that they deemed too big to fail.
Yeah,
because it did start to fail.
So they they protected. It was their job to protect their interests. Well, because if that fell down, the empire fell down.
Well, that's how the Brits took India. That's how the Brits took India.
That's exactly how I imagine the company works and their relationship with the military.
Because the East India Company did start to fail. It did have its own. It did literally have its own security force.
But these are they're the colonial marines, so they protect the colonial interests in space.
Which, when you want to boil it down to it, is the company.
Yeah, they're not out for hunting squiggly monsters. They're out for shooting people, insurgents and rioters and stuff like that.
I love these Walker things. I mean, they're so useless, but you can see how it is just an advancement on a forklift.
Yeah, they're pretty useful if they're like a 25-foot alien parasite gets in your ship and you need to slap it about a bit.
Actually, you were going on about seeing the strings in Star Wars.
You
could see the cables that hold those things up.
There's actually a weightlifter inside those. That's what makes them walk around.
What was it? A guy?
It's like a guy inside the suit, and then the person's kind of strapped to the front of the suit.
Jesus, that's a weightlifter.
Yeah. It is held up as well by those cables.
Well, it needs to be, yeah.
But that's how it moves.
But it's just, that was fantasy tech now, and these days it can exist, but the reason it doesn't is because its applications are so limited.
It's freaking awesome. Oh, the military are dicking around with it. I've seen some stuff.
Actually, did you hear recently that they're going to have some sort of chat at the UN about autonomous killing machines? They're going to actually put down international legislation saying you're not allowed to have autonomous killing machines. You're not allowed
in case, you're not allowed to build Terminators.
Yeah, basically.
Before that happens.
As long as there's someone on the other side saying, yes, pull the trigger, that's okay, but the machine is not allowed to decide whether it can or cannot pull the trigger. You love that gun.
Well, pulse rifle, it's got to be one of the most iconic weapons in film.
It's it's the AK-47 of sci-fi weapons.
It is. It's actually a Tommy gun. It's built around a Tommy gun. That's what's underneath it. It's a Tommy gun with a shotgun strap.
I was going to say you can see the shotgun part of it certainly, but so stripped away the casing and it's just a Tommy gun. You see, that would do me fine in space. Just a Tommy gun. I'd be happy with it. Tommy guns in space.
Well, they work really well against stuff. They kill aliens.
A Tommy gun works against anything.
They kill the Borg. They've changed their shield harmonics. They can't really defend against the
holographic bullet. I did watch that film recently. It's aged quite a bit.
Is it?
I mean, it's still my favourite of the Star Trek of the Next Generation Star Trek films. But it has started to date a bit. The special effects.
Yeah.
It's just the effects. The actual.
Well, it's that era of CGI, isn't it? I think that's one of the reasons that these films hold up so well, because
everything's real.
Yeah, this is as good as physical effects got. Do you know what I mean? It's as far as rubber effects, plastic reality went.
It basically went from this. It went from this to Terminator 2, when they started to introduce CG.
Wow, the grain on this is incredible.
No, that's not my DVD.
No, it's not.
That is actually the grain on
actually
it.
the film. It's just like.
You see, I don't mind it. I quite.
No, I don't either. But it's. Like,
it's just more pronounced on this because
really
it's high def
it,
TV. Yeah, in the 80s, you could never have too many monitors.
The only reason they got so many TVs is because if you look around the set, they use the back of them to make everything. It's like virtually every panel on every wall is just the back of the TV. It's like, what are we going to do with the guts out of them all? We'll just stick them somewhere else. Wire up some heart monitor shit on it. Job done.
Elevator to hell.
Going down.
I do like this drop sequence.
It's ridiculously cool. The whole film's ridiculously cool.
I must have a really short attention span if this is like my favourite of the Aliens films, because it's just not.
You do though. You don't like anything that's got a slow build.
I do like slow, thoughtful films. It's just Alien is not one of them.
Criminal.
I don't know why.
Criminal.
Because I mean, if I'm a big fan of tactile technology, you'd think I'd love the first Alien film because it's all about the environment.
Old-fi sci-fi. Mm.
You see, they got the Descent to the Planet right here.
Yeah.
I was watching GoldenEye recently. This is going to sound like a random tangent, but I was watching. I was watching
okay.
GoldenEye recently.
Space bits and GoldenEye.
No, there is. There's a scene near the tail end where you see a satellite in orbit around Earth. You see a satellite in orbit around Earth.
Yeah, because GoldenEye's a satellite.
Yeah, but they did a really bad job on the Earth. They couldn't get the Earth right.
What do you mean?
And then
you look at that again.
And then you look at this, which was made like 10 years before.
Yeah. If not more.
If not, 10 plus years before GoldenEye. And they got the descent to a planet perfectly perfect.
Oh.
How hard can it be to get a planet right?
It's not easy, apparently. Seeing planets. It's not easy. To get the scale and stuff and looking at but, you know. You'd have thought, by like the mid-90s or whatever, late 90s. They'd have got that nailed.
I think it might have been because they were using CG.
Again, we can just do some computers.
Yeah, but like anything, when you just start to use the technology, the CG's a bit ropey.
Just because you could doesn't mean that you should.
Yeah.
Malcolm was right.
It's not to think that we should. There's something wrong with your head.
Stood on the shoulders of giants. And
I love that bit. Yeah, that's how I fix stuff. Just hit it.
Yeah.
Oh.
The fact that American grunts now have little cameras on their helmets and shit. It's just gradually.
Forget the grunts. British police have cameras on their helmets.
Oh, they do now. Yeah, that's only just come in then.
This line that he does here.
It is brilliant, isn't it?
This line is basically the entire film, as far as I can see.
Team of ultimate badasses will protect you.
If I ever met this guy, he'd hate me, but I'd really want him to just do this line.
Phil Pax is amazing. But you can tell who the most nails one is. You know, the guy who's sleeping through all this. Yeah. He's the one I want on my team.
The more bravado that comes out of someone, the less, the more distance you want to put between yourself and him.
He's like, oh man, I'm really freaking out. They're gonna make myself feel good.
I don't get how those wings work. You'd think they'd be out of alignment.
Well, they open one by one.
Yeah, but there'd still have to be a distance between each other.
No.
They wouldn't. It wouldn't be a symmetrical ship.
Yes, it is. They cross over like that.
Oh, what, like an X?
Yeah, they lie on top of each other.
Ah, right. Just the angle that I was seeing it at.
Yeah. They're not straight.
I love the size of those atmospheric processes in comparison with the dinky little town that's next to
It's insane, isn't it? It's basically just global warming on a massive scale. We just
Yeah.
need to speed this up a little bit, lads.
But
You
you
just
can,
pollute the crap out of it. Human beings are really good at that.
but you can see why they're in such a hurry to get away from it. Can you imagine something that big exploding?
So it'll be alright here, right? Not so much. I don't think anything in the southern hemisphere is going to be
So,
alright.
could we put the settlement behind a hill, maybe?
Yeah, on the other side of the planet? Is that a thing that we could do?
Well, but it's still just on the moon.
Yeah.
Nuke it from orbit.
Yeah.
It's the only way to be sure.
Sake. I haven't even got to that bit yet.
We will.
I think this is possibly the most nerded out one we've done yet. I know it's really... Yeah, we are massive geeks. This is ridiculous.
I like the fact that this planet feels wet.
Hello.
Well, every time someone goes to an alien planet, it's either an ice planet or a desert planet.
Yeah, this is just...
This is,
rank,
yes. I like the fact that this just well, it feels...
It looks like the Welsh Valleys.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing's just been filmed in a coal mine.
You say Wales is an alien planet.
Yeah, have you been there? It's just grey and drizzly all the time. They've got a pub.
I mean, Star Wars was all about desert planets and crap like that.
Well, Star Wars is Star Wars.
When did Dune come out? I can't remember. It was before this.
The 80s, yeah.
Before this.
It was before this, yeah.
But that was a desert planet as well, so you always had it in your mind.
Yeah, but then the book was about... It was called Dune.
Yeah, okay.
You couldn't set it on an ice world.
But, well, Dune probably set the trend then. If you're going to do something on an alien planet, it's going to be hot.
Video games are like that, though, aren't they? Why does the whole planet have to be one condition? This one isn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm probably sure there is a desert region in this place, but
they toyed with that in an episode of Stargate, actually, really beautifully. They go through a new Stargate opening, and they come out on this ice world, and then the gate breaks and shuts down, and they can't get back off, and they're like, "Oh shit, man, we're trapped on some like frozen ice world," and it just turns out to be the North Pole. They're actually on Earth, and they found another gate. But they just assumed that the whole planet was ice, and I loved that. I thought, yeah, it's an ice planet. Why? You've seen 10 foot of it. How do you know?
This looks like my house.
It does look like your house.
It's damp.
Yeah. Is it like this when it rains?
No.
It is good that they have that scene before as well, the bit that was cut, because like it gives you a frame of reference. You're like, wow, what the hell happened to this?
Well, I mean, it shows you...
Otherwise, like, it just looks like it always looks like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was a colony in space supposed to look like?
It shows you that people were actually living there.
Yeah.
It gives characters.
Look at all the TV backs, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And more up the other side, like. And a load along the top wall. That's all they made everything out of, just the back of CRT monitors.
How many corridors do you think they built? Just one and then filled it with
Yeah, potentially.
How much work could go into something like that?
Like, looking at the sets for Alien are insane. I mean, I know the budget was massive, but like...
Did they recycle any of the sets and stuff from Alien for this?
No. Didn't exist. It's all made out of wood, so just tear it up. I don't know.
Actually, I made you watch that film, that Sean Connery film, Outland.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And that was made before Aliens.
Yeah, same production studio. I mean, that's one of the things as well, like, is all this stuff was shot at Pinewood, and at the time, Pinewood had a permanent staff. They didn't used to hire people in to make movies. That's a fairly recent thing.
So if this was a low-budget
film,
they must
like
have
it's
had
always
some
the same
stuff.
people.
Well, I mean, if this was a low-budget film, they must have had some...
Well, they probably did keep... at the time, as they kept, like, staff on, they probably kept, piles of stuff for making things. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, that'll come in handy for if we do this.
Because, I mean, we know now that... for instance, with Ghostbusters, some of the ghosts and stuff were leftover props from Poltergeist.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
So we know that they recycle stuff.
Yeah,
and if the film Outland was done by the same production company, they must have brought over some of the sets.
Well, it looks
and
so
stuff
similar. And
they're virtually identical.
It is, yeah. Going back to your earlier question, I would hazard a guess that they built a figure of 8. because that's usually the best way to do these kind of sets.
So you got some corners.
Yeah, but you can keep turning, and the audience can lose orientation quickly, so stuff looks way bigger than it is. So I used to do Star Trek and stuff like that, because you can just keep walking if you've got a follow-in shot, and you just keep turning in different directions, and it always looks different. You lose track of how big the place
The audience
really
doesn't realise
yeah.
it. Oh, right, hang on, we've got 4 left.
Little bloody handprint on the door, I've never noticed that before.
Oh god, that's not
a
good
bit worrying, isn't it? This is the bit with the mice.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's left a handprint on the doors, those are some mean-ass mice.
Yeah, I got really hungry, man.
Yay!
Gerbils! Or whatever they are. Yeah. If I can go back for them, don't
I want to see a face hugger trying to impregnate a hamster.
I don't think that's really a thing that could ever happen.
Why do the hamsters survive?
It's just too small, aren't they? There's nothing, you can't do anything with it. Apparently, like originally, because they filmed most of this in Britain, like the monitors that they used to do all this stuff were PAL, not NTSC, and the picture quality was so good that like test audiences couldn't tell that it was supposed to be through a head cam, so they had to add interference and stuff because it was so much better than the American NTSC format.
Actually, is that why American news clips that I always see? It always looks really
in
the past.
Yeah, because NTSC is wank. I should go back to that bit where he spits down the hole. Like his boots in the foreground, they're like off an Action Man. It's like it's a little tiny model floor with the layers.
Really?
Yeah, and they just stood 2 little like feet on the edge of it, and then made like fake spit and dropped it down the hole.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's so
little
cheap.
tiny little combat boots. Yeah, well, the whole film is just like there's no money.
It's the Batmobile.
Yeah.
It is the tumbler, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they took 80 tons of lead sheeting out of that thing. It was ridiculously heavy.
What, they actually made the thing stupidly heavy?
No, I mean, that's what it was when they got it. They had to strip all the lead weights out of it, because it's designed for towing 747s.
Oh, wait, so
It's an airport towing vehicle.
I didn't realise it was actually based on a real vehicle. I mean,
it pretty much looks exactly like that.
I knew
dressed it up a bit.
I knew it wasn't actually going to be a military vehicle because it's too low to the ground.
It's got no ground clearance, it'd be useless.
I can see it now. Yeah, it's obviously straight out of an airport. He's coming in.
I feel so much better. I feel safer already. Yeah, I tell you what, I'll keep those aliens out. Bit of half a bed and some like and some shelves, IKEA shelves and some drawers and shit. We'll weld it all together. That'll keep them out, right?
I mean, essentially this would just be a reworking of the thing, but I would have loved to have actually seen a film set in Hadley's Hope as it became overrun by the aliens.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
There's a comic done of it, but...
Is it?
Yeah, it's a shame. The sad thing is the art is just appalling. Yeah.
Actually, most of the aliens-based comics have been a bit crap.
Some have, but some are absolute gold.
There was a recent one which had really quite high quality comic book art in it, but I can't remember. It was just
2 of the best
aliens.
ones. Nightmare Asylum is fantastic because all the artwork's like oil painted and looks incredible.
Ooh.
And God, Salvation, which is Mike Mignola. I think he was really good.
I think you've got a picture up on that on your Facebook thing, do you? Yeah.
It's well worth getting if you can get it. It's fantastic.
I picked up the recent Hellboy comic, a recent issue of Hellboy titled In Hell.
Oh dear.
And Mignola's work in comparison with what it used to be.
That's what I mean. It's like, yeah, Alien Salvation was done before Hellboy.
What the hell happened to him?
He disappeared up his own ass. I literally think
he hasn't done. I mean, he must just focus on his writing or something.
I think he freaked out, like after the films and a bunch of other things.
I still stand by the thought that he came to hate his own character or something.
I don't know.
Ooh.
That is so wrong.
I remember, I think it was on some British breakfast show, they had a bunch of aliens props in there.
Really?
And the presenter was sort of freaking out, saying, "Oh, can we actually show this side?"
Yeah. Like,
that's horrible.
Yeah.
She'd obviously never seen it before.
Yeah. She looks like a vagina with like some kind of worm coming out of it.
Geiger
like those ragworm things.
Did Geiger design the...
Geiger had nothing to do with the second movie.
No, but facehuggers.
He didn't actually design the facehugger, no.
No, it was the facehugger which I meant.
The facehugger and the chestburster were designed by somebody else, I forget who.
Right, whoever they are, they're a sick bastard.
Well, they look totally different in the first film.
You don't really see the facehugger that much in the first one.
You see the underneath of it and do a close-up and they're in.
But you don't see it run around.
No. Well, that was, again, like, going back to, like, Cameron having it easy. There's so much stuff that hadn't been shown that you could introduce.
It was implied in the first one, but you never saw it.
Well, it has legs, so you just assume that it can. That's the cheapest scare in this movie, when she knocks that thing off, and it makes me jump every time, even though I know it's coming.
But even she's pissed off about it, the way she looks back at Bert.
Sorry.
I mean, it's not a cat in the cupboard type thing. It is actually just a genuine mistake. Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
Sorry. So you referenced Alien there. You do know it. You've seen it.
Huh?
There's a cat in the cupboard and that.
No, a cat in the cupboard is just a run-of-the-mill jump scare thing in a haunted house.
Yeah, I know.
You hear something in a cupboard. Oh, what is it? It's a cupboard. It's a cat in the cupboard.
Look at all those TV backs. Once you spot it, it's like, oh my god, this was done like for 20 quid.
But that was obviously the corridor they came in on.
No, it wasn't. Shut up. That's all you're saying.
No, just leave her there.
Why have you got a problem with her?
She's just
She's not anything. She's fine.
Whiny kid.
She isn't whine. When does she whine?
No, the way she talks with this sort of whiny.
Well, she's British.
They come out at night mostly.
Which is one of the best lines in science fiction.
Yeah, I keep meaning to. This is all cartoon.
It's one of the greatest lines in science fiction.
He mostly come at night. Mostly.
Who doesn't? What?
I've got this idea in my head of a little cartoon I could do with sort of an alien orientation day.
As if anybody reads your stuff.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. No, it's going to be a bunch of aliens on their orientation day. There's going to be this sort of head alien just saying, "We mostly go out at night." Mostly.
It certainly needs to be done. You've given away 2 really good ideas now. You have to like do them before we release them. Otherwise, someone like, great, I'm going to go do that. Look at the big Trinitron TV back on the wall. Look.
Okay, fine. It's a TV back. I remember lugging those old TVs around.
I know.
God, they weigh a fucking ton. And the bottom of them were always
hang on, look, the thing hanging from it, isn't that what Indy uses to get the arc?
Oh, right.
Doesn't it go on the end of the stick, like the staff of Ra?
I think that was actually a fairly common type of bulbous pendant they had back in the 80s.
Wouldn't it be great? It's just ended up in a junk shop in the future.
Yeah, because you never actually found out what happened to that. Oh, no, wait, yeah, he just ditched it, didn't he?
Well, what's the point once you found the arc? No one needs it.
He just snapped the stick in two and he left it there. Idiot.
Little bit.
You spent that long trying to get your hands on it and then you just
look,
take it
she's
away.
Officially a citizen. Second-class citizen award. You're a second-class citizen.
Ugh. She's diseased.
She's like malnourished. She's been there for weeks.
Malnourished and living in a drain.
Yeah. I'll keep her because my daughter's dead. She died of old age.
You can be my daughter now.
Yeah. That's basically it, isn't it?
Yeah, have some hot chocolate. There's nothing in it.
Yeah. There was an interesting thing that Cameron said in an interview once, and he said that all his films are love stories, and that was really interesting because he went on to expand that there's more than just like the one kind of love, the romantic kind, and this film is just about a mother's relationship with her child, and not just Ripley either. It's the alien as well.
Well, yeah,
it boils down to that fight at the end between two people defending their kids.
That's been a running theme through the Alien. Well, it obviously started with this one, but that goes on to the later ones as well. You're
not going to mention Resurrection again, are
you? The theme's there, but
I mean that thing does like one thing. It's one step away from going, "Mommy."
Yeah, but that's just
just lamming it on with a trowel. That is.
But here, that message is subtle, whereas it's done so ham-fistedly.
The whole film is... I can't believe that Joss Whedon had anything to do with it, let alone that he wrote it. What were you doing? Everybody has an off day. Everybody has an off day.
I was young, I needed the money.
Yeah, pretty much. And it gave me an idea for like another series that I made.
Which was actually good.
That got canned.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon.
Again,
you'll make it.
Again,
fans will love it.
Studios.
It'll get canned.
But then he goes on to do Avengers, so he's basically saying, "Ha, fuck you."
Yeah. Like, that's one of the first shots of the map of the complex, and it appears again a few times throughout the film, and it's completely incomprehensible.
I know. How can you actually tell
I've never
what's
understood what I'm actually looking at. Even with labels on it where it says airlock and stuff, you're like, well, is this top down or...
Well, when you zoom in, it seems to be more detailed.
What am I looking at?
How you could actually decipher
anybody
anything?
Read that? It's the future. Schematics will be unlegible.
Yeah, it's like every single detail of the entire building is on this one piece of...
Yeah, just layered it up. Every angle.
Well, not just that, just the wires.
And every object
the wires
in the
running
building.
through with text, it's all layered on there. That's why it's indecipherable.
Oh wow, this is really good. Yeah, totally.
It's because he doesn't know how to toggle these things off. He's just got everything show
just all the Photoshop layers turned on at the same time. There's no he's looking at anymore. Oh, somebody hasn't labelled these layers. I'm just going through, clicking them on, clicking them off, clicking them on, clicking them on. Which one is this? That's a bit niche humour, isn't it? Like there's three people sat there listening to this going, I don't even know what Photoshop is.
Come on, it's the internet, it's YouTube. People are going to know what bloody Photoshop is.
No, they're not.
They've got Google.
You went and watched Godzilla, and the guy next to you, who does a YouTube channel, didn't even bother Wikipediaing Godzilla.
Yeah, but he was an idiot.
Nice. Ew.
Why are the androids in Aliens always so fascinated by the bloody facehuggers?
I don't know, look, it's pretty fascinating, let's be honest. It's pretty gacky.
Yeah, but he's completely obsessed. Like this guy says, love at first sight.
Yeah, they're machines, aren't they? It's like it doesn't apply to them, do you know what I mean? It's like...
I'm interested in this thing because it can't hurt me.
Yeah, it's never going to impregnate me. It holds no meaning, it doesn't hold any fear. Stop your grinning and drop your linen.
Another classy line.
Oh,
see,
yeah.
this one makes more sense, slightly.
Kind of.
There we go, it stopped making sense now. It's like
What am I looking at here? I have no idea. This is going to be easy. We'll just go in, we'll get the guys, we'll pack them up, put them on the spaceship, we'll be heroes. The alternate version of the film. They just walk in, they are just all sat round having a town meeting, and they just take them away and that was it.
Oh, we didn't know anyone was here.
Yeah. Just having a barn dance or something over at the...
Actually, the size of those processor things, they must be a good distance away.
Look at that, man. That was big, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the blast radius on that has got to be insane, isn't it?
I mean, you can see a number of things where the makers of... Where Bungie got a lot of ideas for Halo.
Oh, fuck yeah. They
from here.
actively admit that they took loads from this. Another pointless factoid. same power station that Batman drives into in the Tim Burton film. And apparently, when they went to film Batman, most of the set for this was still in the power station. I always love the idea.
Of course, this came before Batman.
Yeah. I always think that some kid broke in there and found all that and had nightmares for years, just mutagenic gack on the walls and corpses and shit.
I like the thought that I love the thought that they'd have to clear that away to do Batman.
Wheelie bin.
What?
Spray it silver. It's the future.
Even in the future, you need somewhere to put your crap.
Yeah, but it's got to be silver. It's the future.
I like what the kid was doing there. I will admit that, where she was just hanging off something.
Yeah, she's very good at being a kid.
See that
she's
I
not
like.
An actress, and it works really well.
She's just being a kid there. That's good. I like that. If she just did that and didn't say anything, it'd be fine.
Oh, leave Carrie Ann alone. What's she ever done to you? This is a beautiful cut.
Well, the transition between human industrial to that thing, yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Mm.
I still have no idea how they did that. I've had it explained to me, but I still don't really get it.
Did someone make it?
It's like a suspended miniature. It's like a little miniature in the foreground of the set to do the whole bit where it goes up over the ceiling.
So, I
think it's like it kind of works like a 3D map painting, but
so basically, it's just a trick of the angle.
Yeah,
right.
Still.
They did the same kind of thing in Lord of the Rings.
I did in lots of movies, but it's still like
to make
without seeing it, it's still kind of
to make something look bigger than it actually.
Yeah, trying to work that out.
I mean, actually trying to do that with the transition, with the camera moving.
Yeah, exactly. That's what really does it. Is like, well, hang on, the camera pans and what?
I mean, you could do that these days because you could.
Oh, it's always CG these days.
Well, the point is, you could do it these days if you wanted to, because you could align something mechanically.
Yeah.
They must have done something similar back then.
Yeah.
Yay! Secreted resin.
It's secreted from what?
Someone blows their nose and you want to keep it.
Yeah. I chose the wrong film, guys. Stop mixing the genres. I've already referenced Ghostbusters twice.
I could probably do more references for this film than any of the previous ones.
Yeah.
I think that's a side view.
It is a side view, which tells you everything you need to know about what's wrong with the signal of the human beings. Because they're scattered all up the walls and shit. It's like, well... And none of them seem to notice this, even though they're trained soldiers.
How many blueprints have you seen which have a side view of a structure?
Shh.
No wonder these guys get wiped out. They don't know where they are.
One of the things I love as well is the costume design in this. I always love the fact that Burke
looks like he's going on a fishing trip.
He really does.
And just completely out of his element.
It also looks like he's just bought all that stuff. If it wouldn't, like, there was a label still hanging off it wouldn't surprise me.
It's just
I'm going out into nature.
Yeah.
I need some hard-wearing stuff. What do people wear when they go outdoors?
It's just, that's obviously something which businessmen are stereotypically do. Because if you go and watch Jurassic Park: The Lost World, the suit in that does exactly the same thing.
It's
and he dresses almost identically to Burke.
Sort of specific kind of yuppie outdoors clothing.
All he needs is the baseball cap, and he's ready for fishing.
That's it, isn't it? It's like you see photos of like the president, out on a fishing trip and things like that, and it's like, oh yeah, I get it. It's got like a little body warmer on and a plaid shirt.
Yeah, just what you want on a hostile alien planet.
Yeah, pair of cat boots or something.
That's
what I want on an alien planet. Fucking 12 gauge.
Actually, when you think about future weapons, there's always going to be a shotgun. Because
those things are like 200 plus years old now. Yeah. So it works, do you know what I mean?
If it works.
It's a simple point and click interface.
The only thing that would change would be the buckshot that you put in it.
Yeah. It refers to
depleted uranium.
Uranium shells or something. That I always find really sinister. That the shoes have got no laces in them.
Well, the shoes don't have laces in Back to the Future.
No, but I mean they've been taken out. Because you've got the holes, but they've been taken out.
Are you suggesting that the aliens like shoelaces?
No, I'm suggesting it's prevent suicide, because it's what you do to prisoners. They take your belt and they take your shoelaces, so you can't kill yourself.
Okay, why would they have them taken out here then? Or do you just find that sinister?
I find it draws parallels between things. Because if you've been impregnated by one of those things, and you know there's no hope,
you glued to the wall. You don't really have a
choice. Who did it though? Did the humans do it?
What, glue themselves to the wall?
No, I mean, no, fuck me. Did the other humans take the laces to prevent people killing themselves?
When? Why would
they weren't all taken at once? It took weeks. This has taken ages.
I don't think that...
And you're right, I would love to see how this panned out.
I mean, there is...
I mean, like they point out in this, it takes 17 days before they're declared overdue.
This bit always made me... Because
so,
you knew this bit was coming.
But...
Like
at the beginning when the transmitter went down, it would have been 17 days before anybody reported it. You know, there would have been... Because that's probably how long it takes the transmission to get back. So in 17 days before they realised that the transmitter went down. Then how long does it take the ship to even get there? So I mean, it's taken ages.
And the gestation period for aliens, it doesn't take very long by the look of it.
No, it doesn't. But I mean, like, the taking down of the colony, it would have started off with one or two creatures, potentially, running about, picking people off. So you got that going on. Scientists and stuff from the colony would have gone to investigate what happened. You know, let's find out. Yeah, let's have a look at these eggs and see if we can figure something else. They get infected, then more people get infected, then a queen gets born, and then there's tons more eggs and aliens, and it just spirals out of control.
There is an interesting story there. Here we go.
We've got movement in front and behind. This is another thing, like, although their technology is quite advanced, how useful is a tracker that only displays something in 2 dimensions? And gives you no information about front, behind, left, right. You know, it's just a crazy spinning display with dots on it.
Yeah, these guys would probably last a bit longer if they could tell where something was on a z-axis.
Yeah, exactly. It's like... It looks like asteroids, and I'm trying to understand where things are coming from.
There's blips.
Yeah, there's stuff moving.
The red thing is going towards the green thing.
Yeah.
I think we're the green thing.
So true. This is one of the only shots that annoys me slightly. It's like, I didn't know they could fly.
I don't think it is sort of flying.
Look! It's not on anything.
I think it's supposed to be clambering up the wall. It's just not showing it very well. And these guys just don't exercise trigger discipline. They're
idiots. Let's be honest, like, most of these Marines are morons. Like, I stand looking at this bag full of burning ammunition. Oh shit, wait. The radio communications bullshit. If he can't hear what his commanding officers... They never tested this under gunfire conditions. They can't hear a damn thing as soon as someone starts shooting. Well, that's brilliant, isn't it?
God damn it, who's firing down there? I told you not to fire.
Fuck that.
Yeah, because you're really...
Kill everything and get out.
The only person who seems to have any authority in amongst these guys is about to get killed.
Yeah. The squiggly things. Squiggly monsters. You can't see a damn thing anyway.
Lots of the technology here now is actually in the field. Like, you've got the head communicators and stuff like that. You've got the cameras on soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
You sort of wonder how much of real world technology is actually influenced by the movies.
Well, I've seen them actually. They've done that thing, you know, where they've got the smart guns are on the Steadicam rig. I've seen that done by the American military. Where they've got guns that are basically too heavy to fire and just
they put it on a sentry thing.
Well, they've put them on the Steadicam rig.
Oh, right.
So you can carry it in the same way. I've seen that done. And it's like...
Well, that's straight out of this.
Yeah, it's like... So they just watch sci-fi movies and go, hey, you know what? Could we do that? Is that a thing that we could do?
I know they do that at NASA, because all the guys at NASA are fans of Star Trek.
Well, yeah.
So basically, they got into they got into that kind of stuff because of Star Trek. So they set out to make the stuff from Star Trek a reality. It must be the same. It must be the same in military circles.
Yeah, it's good. Do you know what? When we go into space, I want to be prepped, just in case.
Practicality be damned. It'll look cool.
Yeah. The hand controls are foot pedals off a Lancaster bomber, aren't they?
Why would you grab her when she's driving the thing?
Because he's an idiot. In case we weren't sure, he's an idiot.
How did this guy get through officer training?
He's literally just out of school, isn't he?
He's obviously...
he's only done...
He's been given a leg up by the company.
Yeah, he's only been done one. Well, they wanted... The company wanted somebody they could control, didn't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, so they probably offered him something.
Yeah.
Like, we'll make sure you get that
Well, we'll get
promotion.
a newbie guy who's easy to influence. You don't want someone like Hicks in charge, because he knows what
he'd actually do the job.
Yeah, he'd actually kill him, and we don't want that. We want the aliens. How the hell are you supposed to capture one of those things anyway?
The other thing I don't like is this thing's supposed to be like a death tank of doom, and its axle breaks.
It's very strong acid.
Is it the acid that goes?
Well, it
through?
drives over the alien, so I assume that takes out everything. Because it went through nearly 3 decks of a spaceship.
And you're right about the numbers before. They've probably gone through about 100 or so aliens by now.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be about... and then they got the bit with the sentry guns. When Ripley goes back into the hive at the end, and there's like 2 that come after her when she fights Newt, and I think there's another 2 next to the alien queen. That's probably all that's left. At that point, that's probably literally all of them.
I'm always sure you'd get to see more of that guy's face melting. But you
never do.
It obviously must have just been that one quick cut.
It is, yeah.
I can't imagine
Probably didn't look that
Yeah, we
good.
can't imagine the makeup looked that good.
They didn't have the budget to make it look very impressive. That's awesome. I'm still not sure how they do that.
What with the hands?
The way the fingers actually curl around.
That's got to. Well, that's got to just be a simple case of the pulling wires in the right direction.
Must be, yeah. But it looks so good though, because they're way longer than human hands.
Yeah, they're not. It's not human hands.
It's such a lovely effect because it really does look. You know, instead of that guy in a rubber suit kind of look.
Mm. Mind you, I'm always surprised with the amount of stuff you can do with an actual human actor.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen the film Silent Hill?
Yes, I actually really quite like that.
Yeah, there was one of those
controversial.
I quite like the first one as well. But one of the sort of Walker things in that, I was convinced that was CG.
Mm.
It's not.
Really?
It's a person.
Oh.
I mean,
if you've got that, I wouldn't mind seeing that again. Actually.
Yeah, watch it later.
But I haven't seen it since it was on TV years ago.
But yeah, they actually they put
Wait for it.
over the hill. Squish. Yeah, the aliens get taken down far too easily in this.
Well, they kind of have to, but then they do point out that they are using armor-piercing bullets.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that really pissed me off in AVP, like in Requiem and stuff. There's a guy like they take out aliens with a handgun and stuff, whereas in this, I think like.
Okay, yeah.
Vasquez unloads a handgun at one on point blank range and just about scratches it, and he's just like. They had to use like armor piercing. I think he mentioned it's actually they're supposed to be caseless ammunition, so they're essentially rail guns, and that's about the only thing that can kill them. It's like that's pretty hardcore.
Vulnerable rail guns, yeah. Actually, the concept of rail guns and with caseless ammunition is really quite scary.
It is, yeah. It's bullshit because you see the cases coming off in one shot, but it's only because they couldn't hide.
Yeah, for the sake of
today, they'd probably just blank them out with computers. And
but
stuff.
It's just in general that the concept of that kind of ammunition, it essentially means you don't need any kind of standard ammunition. You can just feed any old junk into if it's the right sort of element, you can feed it into it, and that's it. You got your own fledged rounds.
Flashlights. But yeah, like before all this kicked off, Ripley asked Gorman what do the pulse rifles fire, because she was worried about, obviously, the causing a meltdown in the plant. And he says, just, your standard 10mm light, caseless and light armour piercing round. You're like, that is a standard issue. Fucking hell.
What kind of stuff do you go up against with that standard? What's specialist?
We see what it does to one of the prisoners when they shoot him in Alien 3. It just blows holes in them like a... the proper 1980s squibs where it's like a 4-foot hole through somebody.
Those Marines are actually scary, though.
Yeah, those guys in the scary white and chrome stormtrooper outfits.
I think they're more the private militia of Weyland-Yutani rather than colonial Marines.
But I love one of the things I love about that is the fact that they've just got a big cage. They've got like a large dog cage to put it in. It's like, you really think that's going to hold it?
This is the bit where she says they can bill me. Sorry, I thought
that's it. Yeah. There's a substantial dollar value attached to it. I can't authorise.
Bill me.
There we go. Corporal Hicks has jurisdiction here. Corporal
Hicks.
he can't make that kind of decision. He's just a grunt.
I'm sorry.
No offence.
None taken. This is. Yeah, you can tell he's the ultimate badass here because he really doesn't want that responsibility.
Yeah. That's it. It's like authority should be given to anyone who doesn't want it.
Anyone that's not dressed up like he's on a fishing trip.
Yeah. Also, I've just noticed his belt is made out. He's got the buckle is one of those the little plastic clips you get on your bag.
Uh-huh.
That's like it's obviously the future, man.
But I've just noticed
belts would be made out of those.
Why has Hicks got a padlock on his chest?
They were all given the opportunity to, all the decoration on their uniforms were done themselves.
Yeah.
They gave it to the actors and said, I think there's a girl's name and a heart and a padlock.
I saw the heart, but I didn't realise it was a padlock.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's cute now.
Yeah.
There's also a bullet hole with something written around it.
Ow.
Yeah, there's a bullet hole in the top of the armour and
this
something
one
written around it. Yeah.
Ew. This.
Goo. So, Hudson's got the lucky 8-ball on his helmet.
Goo is always a sign of impending death.
Yeah. I wonder if that's the same stuff they put in Twinkies, because they used that in something. That was in The Thing. I watched the commentary on The Thing the other day, and they made a load of their slime out of the chemical compound from Twinkies.
I still haven't listened to that. I keep meaning to do that.
It's
just to listen to Carpenter and Russell.
Yeah, just lighting cigarettes and lighting cigarettes and opening beer cans and stuff. Yeah, bit of cherry pie filling. It was good. Wait, that's not flying straight. Oh shit! It's an amazing job, this. Thing is, the sound editing in this is phenomenal. Like, there's a little bit now where one of the little bits of metal, as a little metal pipe comes down,
and you
actually hear that clattering on the thing, and you think today with non-linear editing, like things like Premiere and shit like that, would be no problem to do. But how the fuck do you even start doing that?
Well, there's always been Foley artists.
I know, but God. It's just
they would have had to do a lot of work.
It's an impressive skill, because you just look at how easy it is to do stuff now.
Well, someone still has to. You still do have the Foley artists. You still.
Well, I know, I understand that, but the technology and stuff.
I just like the way he's walking around with a bit of the spaceship in his hand. Darren,
you finished.
But the thing, I don't get how the miniature work in this, with all the models and stuff, can look so high quality, and then you go and watch Batman, which was made later.
It's different people, isn't it?
Yeah, but the model work was so shoddy in that, and it was a higher budget film.
But then, you're dealing with things like streets and stuff like that, which are hard to scale. There's not much here to scale. Maybe we should build a campfire, sing a few songs. I love that line. Yeah, what the fuck are we supposed to do? I don't know. Maybe we should light a fire, sing a few songs. Love that.
Again,
I love that was day as well. It's like this day and night. Is there? Can you tell? How do you know?
It's not raining anymore.
Yeah, it's like there's no difference. And we saved a few of these robot sentries, which will be amazing later. Which is pretty much what he says. Like, they really kick ass. No shit. It's going to look so cool.
Are the sentries actually seen and referred to at all in the theatrical version?
No. Not
They just cut it out completely.
Yeah, there's no reference to the sentry gun units. There they are. Awesome. They'll come in handy. No shit.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw that. The very
like
first...
400 of those. I should just drop them on the planet to begin with.
The very
the
first time I saw the uncut version of this, I just thought, oh god, those are amazing.
I know. I was like, why would anybody cut this? And the thing is, it changes the pace of the movie loads as well, because now it becomes a siege film.
Assault on Precinct 13.
Yeah. Try not to spot the lids from like wheelie bins behind him on the wall as well. Damn it! It's so cheap.
You work with what you've got.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the reasons I respect it. Actually, I love the fact that this film looks so good with no money.
I think it's because it's got no money, which is why it looks good.
Well, we've had this conversation before, but like...
The more money you pour into a film, the less quality it looks.
Because you can't hide anywhere with...
Well, you've actually got to think about what you're doing.
You've got to be like, well, what are we going to show? What can we afford to show? And also, how much of it can we do in the script?
Yeah, it means you've got to edit the script enough as well.
It's got to be a great film before you even start rolling.
I mean, the problem with throwing money at a film is that they're not actually throwing money at the film, they're throwing money at other people to solve their problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than thinking... And
there was a
breaks up the consistency.
There was a great line in something I watched on YouTube a while back, and it was about the 3D glasses. And they said, they're there to provide the depth that the script used to. And I was like, oh, that's so good.
Oh, I'm going to use that line.
That is so good. Beautiful. Don't zoom in. It becomes
for a brief second there, I thought, oh, hang on, this is a Forerunner to touchscreen, but she's got a little remote control. Well, I say little.
It's beautiful, though. I love that, though. Like, every single piece of technology in this looks like you could club a seal to death with it.
Yeah, this is the only reason they travel around in ships that size. It's to carry all the most basic equipment.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, look, office, stairway,
tunnel,
airlock. What am I looking at? Tunnel.
It's also accurately labelled as well.
No wonder they didn't spot the false ceiling. I can't tell what I'm looking at. Yeah, even with the labels, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Is it from the side? Is it from the top? We don't know.
It's blue. It must be a blueprint, right? Affirmative.
I hate her.
Oh, shut up, you miserable bastard.
She's just...
Look at all those VCRs. Amazing. But people like criticising these, like the laptops and stuff. Like, oh my god, it's so ancient. And it's like, yeah, but the military would use something like that.
The thing is, military tech still looks like that. With military tech is designed to be.
Well, that's the point. You want to drop kick it down a staircase and it still works.
Yeah, so it still does look like that.
I had a friend of mine who was a.
Congratulations! You just wasted a bunch of ammunition on a bucket. You retards. He
was an engineer, and one of his jobs was he worked on the fire control system for a one of the military ships, like a battleship or something, and they still use DOS because
it works.
So yeah, because it's not going to go wrong. It's not Windows 8, is it? Jesus Christ, can you imagine?
Well, DOS isn't...
Oh, our ship is blown up and sunk. Why? Because Windows didn't load. Because Windows 8. Just the whole ship catches fire, rolls over and sinks.
I just like the thought of the ship. I like the thought of the ship going down, and on the screen is a little message saying, "Would you like to report an error?"
Yeah.
It's because of this film that in every
fire the guns. Oh no! Apparently we need a software update before we can do that.
It's because of this film that in every single first-person shooter now you get the option at some point to deploy a remote control sentry, and also
every first-person shooter game from Doom onwards was inspired by this film. It literally... Because, like, Doom was Aliens. They wanted to make Aliens, but couldn't get the rights to it, so they did something else. And it, you know, it just goes from there. I mean, Cameron has left his legacy, and some of them aren't great. Like, nearly every monster movie, the sequel is, there will be more of the monster, and they will send in the soldiers. And potentially, someone will want it as a weapon.
You see,
thanks for that, Cameron. Thanks a lot.
I don't blame him for that trope. I blame people for using that as a trope.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's so annoying.
Any film that has any degree of success,
there are other motivations for wanting creatures. It's one of the reasons that the second Hulk film annoyed me. It was like, yeah, we want him for super soldier, the government army shit, and I was like, oh, fuck off. The first one was so much more interesting. It's like I wanted to lock him up just to stop him getting out, which was,
Was this the Ang Lee one versus the Ed Norton?
Yeah. Well, the Ed Norton one was just so much more. We'll make it for the masses.
Well, the Ed Norton one was tied into the Avengers universe that they put.
Well, the Ed Norton one was based on the TV show because everybody complained about the Ang Lee one because everybody knew the Hulk from the TV show.
Not
the comics, and they had no idea when they saw that, which is really accurate to the comics. Everyone just went, I don't get it. When did the Hulk fly? Since always. He's always been able to jump like 300 miles. It's like...
He looks like a green tick when he's bounding.
Yeah, just read the books. But I loved the Ang Lee film. Sorry.
I haven't actually seen that one for a while. I'll have to watch it again.
The little heater's got a Weyland-Yutani logo on top of it. Oh man, I would love that.
It's a Weyland-Yutani foot heater.
Yeah.
Just get a decal.
I know.
You should actually do that.
Just get loads of decals and just put it on every piece of technology that you have.
You can get stuff that you can just put in your printer and it'll print onto a
Perspex
decal. Just get yourself the Weyland-Yutani logo and start sticking it on it.
Yeah. That would be so lovely to do.
Going way back to the trike that you see at the start, where that has the absurdly large Weyland-Yutani thing on it.
It's bigger than the bike.
Yeah, you'd be taking people out to either side.
Oh god, my shins!
So obviously bolted on at the last minute.
Yeah. It's like no company in the world would make an extra thing to put the logo on. You just print it on the side somewhere, or have a little raised bit on the side of the bike or something. Originally, he wasn't going to have a head injury. One of the aliens was actually going to rip through the tank armour and stab him with the tail, because the tail has a sedative barb in it.
Oh, does it?
Tranquilizer, yeah, which was an idea that they didn't go with.
I can't see that.
Apparently, that's how they work, because that's how they take people away without, hurting them.
That makes sense. I never actually thought about that.
Because I think about it, it's like popping a hole in their head isn't exactly very constructive. It's like, yes, that's very good, but now you can't really use it. It's kind of it's broken.
Actually, now that I think about it, the aliens are kind of inconsistent about what they do.
It's filmmakers are stupid.
Yeah, but are the aliens going to just tear through everyone, or are they selective about who they decide to haul off and gunge on?
I think they are selective because, like, in the first Alien film, it does pick and choose. Like, it just out and out kills Brett, but then it takes Dallas away. That is a terrible haircut, isn't it?
He's an android, he can get away with it.
Yeah.
He's to justify what he's about to do.
Obviously hasn't watched Lawrence of Arabia. Oh, I didn't know. I just wanted to make a quick buck. So, a couple of people died. It was a bad call. Bad call, Ripley. Bad call.
It's just, he doesn't feel like he's done anything wrong, does he?
No, he doesn't give a shit.
He's just completely without...
He's literally in his mind, he's in the right. It's like this perfect logic, this yuppie logic to this.
He's Cartman, basically.
Shitbag. you know...
I don't understand why anyone's angry.
He views it in the same way that losing some money on the stock market would have been.
Well, he lost a couple of assets, and that was it.
Exactly. She's like, these people are dead, you know. It's like, well, you know, you want some to lose some. Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, even if he did, he probably wouldn't give a shit. He knows these guys and doesn't fucking care. This is the moment where he cooks up the plan, isn't it? Because he realises that she's going to fucking do him when he gets back to Earth.
Yeah.
So he's got to kill two birds with one stone. It's like if I get them impregnated.
It's just he's sort of sitting there thinking, "Oh, that means I've got to do it myself. Damn it!"
Yeah, fuck. I've got to start thinking now. He's a wily son of a bitch.
I don't think he even had to start thinking. It's like he already knew he was going to have to what he was going to have to do. He just didn't want to have to do it himself.
Yeah. There
was no one he could call to get it done for him. That's the only reason he's sort of rubbing his head there.
God damn it. There must be wall to wall in there.
Yeah, if only you hadn't thrown a bucket in front of it before and wasted so many rounds.
Yeah, then the last 6 aliens might have got killed. I mean, how many are there? There's only like 100 and something. I
don't think it's a bullet per alien, but
even then,
there's got to be a hell of a lot in there. Like he says, it's got to be wall to wall.
If they're wall to wall in there, like you wouldn't even have to aim. Do you know what I mean? It's just gunning them down by the 100. But like I've read stuff where people theorised that the colony obviously had livestock and things like that.
Well, if you got one coming from a dog in Alien 3, yeah, possible.
Well, a cow if you watch the.
I can't see this place having livestock.
It's actually out of a cow. There is no dog.
Huh?
Alien 3, the proper cut of it comes out of a cow. There's no dog in that film.
Oh, is that the full?
Yeah, the full director's cut. Alien 3.
I've only watched that once because it's bloody long.
Yeah, it's bloody good.
It's good. It's really good, but it's long.
It's 1,000 times better than the.
So it comes out of a cow rather than a dog in that one. Because in the cut version, it's a dog.
Yeah. Fuck knows why. I don't even understand what the point of that was.
Well, there is a dog in there.
Nope.
Yeah, there is.
No, there's not.
You do. You see it.
I watched it the other week.
One of the prisoners goes apeshit because he thinks someone's been beating up his dog.
That's only in the original cut.
Oh, right, okay.
There's no mention of a dog, nobody owns a dog.
In the full version?
Yeah, in the full version.
They must have added it.
Yeah, they added that whole thing. And you're just like, why? Did they think the audience wouldn't get that a cow is a quadruped? I don't get it. Looks a bit more like a dog. Better make it a dog. Oh, fucking hell. Don't surprise me, studios, man.
I can't help but think about
the Box Network.
For some reason now, I've got this image in my head of an alien with an udder.
Oh god, this is different.
I lactate acid.
It's probably a good thing that, you know, Geiger isn't around to hear that idea. Like, oh yeah.
No.
Give it boobs. And nipples and things.
He did that in Species.
Oh, true. Dear God, that film's broken, isn't it?
Have you seen the concept art for Species, though? He's got...
Helen was telling me about this the other day. I haven't... I don't think I have, actually, seen the sketches.
One of the sketches he did of the creature in Species was basically a sort of Ouroboros thing with the creature filleting itself.
Great.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm glad Geiger's dead.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
No, he was a sick fuck.
He was a sick fuck. He was very talented.
I've always felt that I should be a fan of his work, but I sort of... Yeah.
I don't think you have to like it to get it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's okay. It's supposed to be challenging.
I love the way Bishop's in this bit where he's getting in there. He's saying, "Watch your fingers."
Yeah, he's got. It's a lovely little attention to detail in his character.
It's just he obviously does not care about himself in that way.
No.
His sole purpose is to look after the crew.
People, yeah,
it sort of reinforces the fact that he's the good guy here.
It is lovely, isn't it? It's a beautiful line. Mind your fingers. We still got some bullets left. Yeah, maybe we got them demoralised. I love that one.
There's so many quality lines that come in.
Next time they come right up and knock. Yeah, but they don't know that. Maybe we got them demoralised. What a demoralised alien would look like. Just see it walking off down the corridors, kicking a can or something. I was like, fucking hell.
He just sort of looks down. Oh.
Yeah, just goes off, shuffles off down the corridor and kicks something out of the way.
I'd imagine he looks a bit like Ben Affleck. I'd imagine he looks a bit like Ben Affleck he did in that recent Batman picture.
Yeah. This is before the release of the Batman Superman film in 2014. If people are watching this years from now.
In the future.
Yeah, in the future. Yeah. If YouTube still exists.
Before it was confirmed that it was going to be a bomb of a film.
What if it's not? What if it's amazing and there's like a third movie?
Then I'll be eating crow, but I'll deny it.
Russell Crowe? He'll be in the next one. It's in the last one.
He got deleted though.
Helen pointed out that both of Superman's dads were Robin Hood, which was deeply amusing to me.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's really quite good. Like, wait, what?
She just loves that cup of coffee. It keeps going on.
I could do with it. I could go for that right now, actually. Coffee would be good.
You'll have to wait.
It's cool, man. No, I was just dropping a hint. Have one after.
I should have offered you a cup of coffee before I said.
Apparently, the camouflage in this is a very specific kind of camouflage.
It looks like urban stuff.
It's not. I can't remember where they got it from. It's Russian or something odd. Or Ukrainian or something really obscure. And I think it was only a small batch of it that existed at the time. And then,
actually, if you look at recent...
that was it. You can't... Like, anybody that does cosplay of it never has the right camo, because you literally cannot get it. It just does not exist.
Some Eastern Bloc country that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
He's still in his little tin can.
Some third world shithole that disappeared, like, centuries ago.
I really feel bad for Bishop. He's stuck in that can.
Oh, he looks pretty safe compared to everybody else.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know which I'd rather do. Face a bunch of aliens or do an Andy Dufresne down a drain pipe.
Question. Did they name him Bishop literally because he gets taken out by the Queen? I'd love to hope so. Queen takes Bishop. Bam.
I don't think the writers had chess in mind. It's a lovely thought, but I don't think the writers had chess in mind.
Yeah, Cameron wrote it as well.
Did he?
Yeah. He wrote, produced and directed.
And he went on to do bloody Avatar.
Also, interestingly, he hadn't actually had a film out at the point he made this. Or at least at the point he was hired to make
So this really was treated as a B-movie on all levels. You had an unknown director doing it.
He was making Terminator, and they knew of it. And the rumours were that it was really good. So they got him in. And handed that piece of paper over that legendarily said Ripley goes back with some soldiers and some shit happens. There's your brief. Right, it's a script. I mean, man, you know, and then you get to Alien 3 where it went through about 10 writers and 4 directors and took a decade to make.
I can see why Cameron was pissed off at that, though, because he, like you said, he came up with all these quality characters.
The whole point was that it was going to carry the franchise. He even talked to Carrie. There's a really interesting website called Strange Shape, which deals with. It's a really good like fan site for alien stuff because they actually do proper interviews with all the people involved. And he had like a conversation with Sigourney Weaver and Carrie Henn and a couple of others where he discussed ideas for the sequel. He had stuff written. Cameron was gearing up to do Alien 3. He had it in the back of his mind when he was doing this.
How did it fall through?
Because studios.
Oh, right.
Let's be honest. And they went, oh yeah. Let's get like another unheard of director and then we'll throw millions of pounds at it and it'll be a way better film.
No, give something money like we keep saying. Yeah. Give someone money, it falls apart.
It just falls apart. Give him 20 quid.
I'd say we'll see what you come up with.
And if it's great, then it's great. And if it's shit, then forget it. You know, no one's lost.
Why isn't there anyone on the ship in orbit?
Because it's automated, it doesn't need anyone. Because of that, you just radio control it and just go, give me another dropship. And it goes, okay, here you go.
Obviously, oh, here we go. Burke's plan in action.
Oh, yeah.
Impregnating, or attempting to impregnate...
Small children.
Yeah. Ew.
So I make that terrible.
You went there, not me.
These things are amazing, let's be honest.
I do love the way
they scuttle.
Yeah, they just seem really horrific. I mean, I hate spiders. I can't stand spiders. And the way these things move, when you see the long shot of one scurrying across the floor, how did they do that?
Because it's basically an interpretation of a child's toy. Was the concept for it. There's wheels underneath and little rods on the wheels. So when the wheels go round, it makes each leg go one by one.
But it's just it seems so high up off the ground.
The great thing as well is the faster you pull it, the faster the legs go. So it'll always run at the speed.
It must just be the angle then, because it seems so high up off the ground. It seems like it's elevated on its legs.
That's how they do it. The one when it's got her around her neck and she's trying to hold it off apparently had 9 puppeteers to make that work. There's that much stuff going on. I'll just snap that off.
No one will notice that.
No one notices.
Burke's a dick.
Such an asshole.
You really wanted him to have slightly more graphic death, didn't you?
There is one.
It
was filmed. He gets cocooned and she finds him in the hive and gives him a grenade to kill himself.
That would have been quality.
It was filmed. I think the cutscene's on YouTube.
I'll have to track that down. Personally, I would have loved it if later on you'd seen a sort of a long shot of him running away from Hadley's Hope or something. You see the dropship taking off the door. Yeah, and basically he does a Terminator 2 where he's sort of holding on to something.
And it runs that question though, doesn't it? Would I have given him the grenade?
I don't know.
I wouldn't waste it on him. Whole place is going up in a ball of flame.
Yeah, I wouldn't have anyway. But that's me. But you know, she's supposed to be the hero, so
yeah, it's a bit more heroic, isn't it? Fair play is genius. I don't know if I'd have thought of that.
What, lighting the
the fire
thing?
Very good. Now just turn and face the glass. They can't jump at your face if there's something in front of you.
Yeah, I've always thought that. Just hold something just if you just got like a metal bar or something and just held it up at your face like that. It wouldn't be able to wrap around your head.
They pull themselves in and using their tail, don't they?
This bit. See, it's so high up off the ground. It doesn't look like it's on wheels. Well, actually, no. It's little lung sac type things. They're sort of high.
The egg sac things. Yeah, it's genital things. Yeah. That's horrendous. It just crawls up behind us like, no, less of that. And these also, like, I know we're picking holes in it. We love this film, and anything that we're picking at is just, you know, for shits and giggles. But they go through way more than 50 rounds.
Yeah.
Those pulse rifles, he's fired about 100 in that shot. Like, he's still going. I mean, those things only had 50 rounds in them. He said so. And then we've got the bit where the aliens come in later and they're killing them left, right, and centre. It's like the classic infinite bullet guns.
These guys don't do ammo conservation.
They have cinema ammo. They only run out in like dramatic moments.
I mean, yeah. In hindsight, it would have been better if you'd said, "Oh, we've got this much ammunition, but we'll actually probably burn through that quite quickly." I mean, anyone that's even gone like basic paintballing knows.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah. Oh shit!
I'm out of bullets.
Just kill him.
I say we grease this rat fuck son of a bitch right now. Such a good line. You're dog meat, pal.
But he's still convinced that he's in the right.
He still thinks he's getting out of it.
He's telling him.
It casts questions to me because, like, there's a. She says in this scene now about how she thinks that the only way he could get away with it is if he rigs certain stasis pods on the way home. And I always wonder if he's already done that.
Yeah.
And that's why
Oh, that would
only Ripley survives the crash in Alien 3 because the
he hasn't got back up to the ship yet.
He doesn't know which ones are which, unless they're already preordained.
That would have been a quality twist. That would have been an excellent
It has always
lead-in.
rolled around in the back of my mind.
I mean, if he had actually got back up to the ship, that would have been a brilliant.
The biggest question of all about Alien 3 is how the fuck that egg got on the ship in the first goddamn place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know the Queen was on it, but she'd already ripped off.
Yeah, she ripped off the egg sac. Yeah. If it was just a facehugger, that would make sense, because the facehugger could just hidden on the dropship with the Queen.
Mm. Does it actually show an egg?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah, in the opening sequence, it pans through like a cargo bay or something, and there's an egg.
It would have been better just to see the shadow of the facehugger.
Yeah, you don't need it. Yeah. You just see it coming out of the dropship or something. I hate to bring up the appalling Aliens Colonial Marines game, which was it tanked. It was.
I know it was bad. That's why I haven't played it. I was looking forward to it, but I never went near it.
There is a piece of concept art that I've seen that is truly horrific and brilliant, and it's an alien warrior, and it has a facehugger wrapped around one arm, and a facehugger wrapped around its head because it's got the long head, and it's just transporting them. And I thought that's horribly fantastic.
Have you played Half-Life 2? Or either of the Half-Life?
No, I haven't actually.
Well, you know the little head crab things? You must know those.
I know a head crab.
Well, there's something in Half-Life 2 where it's one of the zombies, but it's covered in the head crabs.
Yeah.
So it starts throwing them at you.
Yeah. It's like, that makes sense. It's like, I could see that in a hive. You know, the alien just carrying them around and slapping them on the cocooned people. Because it works like an ant hive, it carry stuff around.
Here we go, the final assault on the control room.
Yeah.
Sealing themselves in.
Those little arc welder things. Yeah. Stunning lighting. Absolutely phenomenal.
The blues and the reds.
Yeah.
Blues for the technology, reds for the general menace in the building.
Yeah. It was Cameron's obsession with the colour blue. All his films have this single blue.
Right up the way to Avatar, where he's got the entire cast.
He's just gone completely off the deep end in Avatar, where let's just paint everything blue,
including the.
It's kind of subtle up until that point.
I mean, with Avatar, I wouldn't mind if they were blue if they also bled blue. Why did they bleed red? It doesn't make sense.
Lots of that film doesn't make any sense. Helen was pointing out, interestingly, that all the animals on the planet have 6 legs except them. Why are they the one thing that doesn't fit in the evolution of that planet?
It's inside the room.
Yeah, it really is. The fuzzy, nondescript, blobby signal thing is really close. The
really crap blueprints have come back to bite us on the arse.
Yeah. Oh shit! It's the 80s, and they built suspended ceilings and everything.
If you thought they were going to be above you, would you really stick your head above the parapet?
He's Hicks. He's awesome.
I love the way they're on the camera's inverted to make it look like they're crawling.
You're ruining the magic. They're actually crawling on the ceiling.
Okay, fine. They're magically crawling on. I just like the way they did that.
The squealing noise, the legendary squealing, is actually a speeded up elephant sound. Yeah.
You can tell it with some of them. It does sound a bit like Dumbo.
Okay? Yeah. Fucking shoot it anytime. Thank you.
Safety.
Yeah.
I do like that. It just shows she's never fired a gun before.
Yeah.
How do I work this thing? I really wanted him to have he deserves a better death than this. He's such a total dick.
I know, I hate working horrible. Everything wrong with corporate America.
Well, it's just that all the Marines get these really quite lengthy deaths and stuff, and it's not fair on them because they're the heroes. And then you get the real bastard, and he just vanishes into the dark.
I love the way that Hudson's actually a badass at the end. He's been this sort of cringing coward the whole way through, and then when it comes down to it, he's nails. I love that. He goes out fighting the whole way.
I like it when his
even when it's dragging him through the floor, he's He's trying to shoot him and kick him off.
He's one of those characters you really want him to get through.
Yeah,
because he's just got this charm about him.
He has. And we just never show... You know, in reality, you'd probably just want to punch him in the face, but he's a wonderful character. I'm just going all out now. Throw everything you got on him. Including this empty Coke can. So that was like a Galaxy Quest reference, which also had like Scorning Weaver in it. I thought that was good. Oh wait, shit.
See, no, you needed a better death than that for.
He's not dead.
Well, I know that now that you said that he filmed this bit.
They didn't kill you. Take you away.
But it's obviously implied in this cut that he was killed there and then.
Weird alien rapey things to you.
He deserves it. He deserves at least an acid bath in there.
He will. Also, one of the rules of space has got to be that everywhere will have massive air vents.
Yeah, how much air do you need cycling around this place?
It's like everywhere I've ever been that's had an air vent, it's been like less than a foot across.
I mean, if air vents would actually needed to be that big...
You should virtually stand up in it.
If air vents needed to be that big, they'd be pumping around a huge amount of air. You wouldn't be able to stand up because you'd be bowled over by the flow of the stuff. Actually, no air would actually move through them. The reason air vents are small is so you can push the air through at a rate.
This is thrilling conversation about how air vents work.
And it's already been trod before. People have already complained about the size of air vents.
Yeah. It's one of those rules of movies, though. The fact that no car will ever be locked. You never have to adjust the seat. And the keys are always above the flappy sun visor thing.
I think it'd be a great way to subvert the sort of air vent thing by saying that these are the corridors for the midgets that we employ. Oompa Loompa transport ducts.
That'd be brilliant.
See, it's perfect standing room for a nude.
Yeah, this is also a lesson in like using wearing oversized clothes as well. It's bad. Get off!
Ow.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
That would just melt your entire foot off.
Yeah, it really would. It would just be gone from the ankle down.
Actually, of all the things that...
Oh my god, look at the quality of the image. It's awful, sorry. it's like somebody's put like one of those oil paint filters over it in Photoshop.
Yeah, that's that's the DVD running through the high def TV.
Wow. Squint, it looks better.
That's a real problem I have with my technology. I'm sorry about that. It's not
right. It's fine. It's the red doesn't help as well.
Yeah, it's the reds and the blacks are kind of iffy on them. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
One of the things that Alien vs Predator 2 got a lot... Oh, Requiem got a lot of things wrong. But one of the things I did like was the fact that the acid burnt through everything.
Oh yeah.
There was a guy that got hit in the arm with acid and his
that bit
arm
where it caves the guy's face in though. That's one of the that is how Burke should have died.
Yeah.
He should have had a gun and tried to take one out and it should have just melted his head and turned it into an ashtray. This was hollowed out.
They just stumble across a corpse later on.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I recognise that lumberjack shirt. That Calvin Klein lumberjack shirt.
Watch what Nude does here.
Reach up.
No, watch what she does. She actually turns around so she falls out of the thing. See?
Well, she probably had to, so...
No, she didn't.
The directors said, you're not going to fall unless you do it.
No, let her go. Self-inflicted.
Shut up.
Ripley! No, look, she's gone.
Yeah, but without her, you don't get that really cool shot where it comes out the water behind her. Because that is one of the coolest things in a film ever, where it just rises out the water behind it.
It's the fact there's no ripples in the water nearby.
Yeah.
It's just like it's been there forever.
And you know
just
that
lurking.
The assholes that did Alien Resurrection went, oh yeah, you see it like in the water. Let's make it come out. Actually see it swimming around. No, let's not. Let's have CG ones swimming.
Again, it's not bad, but it's.
It ain't great. There's 3 films. Ripley died, and that was it.
Yeah.
And if you watch the director's cut of Alien 3, it's actually a really good film.
It's a fantastic film. It's a proper sci-fi epic.
It's brilliant.
Everything that's just sort of briefly touched on in Alien 3 is proper fleshed out in the uncut version.
Yeah, it really is.
You're carrying this equipment around with you, look at it.
Yeah.
You're going to the trouble of carrying it, fucking use it.
Oh my god, take a bit longer to cut through that.
I know, looking at what Vasquez was doing before, she
welded that door shut in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It takes like half an hour to cut through a grate.
I think he's just crap at using it. Behind you. Of all the times they have the John Williams theme.
Yeah, well, way to undermine that.
No, look, see, she's gone. Give up. just leave.
And
I never noticed that, but the doll's eyes closed.
yeah, it's really freaky, isn't it?
It's like that's what sets her off. The doll's eyes are open and then they're closed, and then she gets...
It's like a metaphor or something, and it's almost like they did it intentionally. This is awesome, fair play. Why is it lifts are always like this? Is it like that this is reality? You just stand there going, oh, come on.
I love the double take he does on the control panel there. He says, right, I press the button, nothing's happening.
Yeah,
press it again.
It's so real, isn't it, that? And it's the bit with the alien queen later where she just hammers all the buttons to get all the lifts to come down. She's there waiting while it's coming up the corridor going, come on! Why do they always take ages? And then they sit there for 5 minutes with the doors open and you're just there going...
I think someone's using an angle grinder outside of my house. What the hell's that noise?
That or they're cutting their way in here. That's really cool.
It's the miniature work. It's spot on.
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? You cannot tell that they're models.
You know it's a model simply because...
It has to be.
It has to be. It can't be anything else. But
that's the other thing.
But then you compare that to the Batwing in Batman, and you know when that's crashing onto the street.
Oh, when it crashes onto the street, it's horrific. I watched that the other week, and I was like, ooh dear.
Yeah, everything else was fine. But that bit specifically, you sort of think...
Yeah, it's like somebody threw a plastic toy down a corridor.
There's a reason people don't use models on it.
I think CG has heightened that, though. I'll admit. I think, like, now we've kind of been spoiled a bit with...
Yeah, I think...
you look back and go, oh, wow, okay.
That's more a case of you just being tolerant of it rather than it being good, though.
Yeah. I think you definitely notice it more, though. I think it's highlighted stuff.
I mean, it's like with old computer graphics and stuff. If you could look at a Commodore 64 game, you were quite happy playing it at the time.
Yeah.
Because most of the stuff you made up in your head as to what you were seeing on screen.
Yeah, it actually meant you used your imagination.
Yeah.
Probably a lot better.
So, I mean, it's the same with the old model work you used to see. So, yeah, it's telling a story. It's a medium.
This is something I was like just randomly going off and like, do you remember Doom 3?
Yeah. Oh, no, I never played Doom 3.
Like, there was this whole thing in Doom 3 where I think you couldn't use a torch and a gun at the same time. Because apparently, all you need is duct tape. So, although it was way out in the future on Mars, nobody had duct tape. You know, to strap a whole bunch of shit together. It's like, I really want a torch while I've got the gun. I'll tell you what, I'll just sellotape it to the side of the gun.
That'd be a really good thing to do if some future first-person shooter.
Oh, you just had like a combination system.
Well, no.
If you picked up duct tape, you could combine stuff.
You know how usually characters will sort of gradually augment their arsenal as they go on?
Yeah.
It would be good if you actually, rather than clipping something onto it, you actually bound it on with duct tape. So, oh, right, that's okay then.
Well, this bit where he finds out what his name is, like Dwayne. It would be great if she was like...
Dwayne?
Never mind.
Sorry. She said, hi. Oh, she's about to go out the door and she says, wait, what?
I'll just call you Hicks. Yeah, it's way better. Dwayne.
Dwayne Hicks. Doesn't even sound right. Who named the kid Dwayne Hicks?
His name's Hicks. That is just his name. Has no first name.
I really wanted to say Bill. What were those flares?
Hillbilly Hicks. Yeah, they're like little. She uses them to leave like a magic trail behind her, doesn't she? Amazing what you can do with back projection, isn't it? It's just a screen on the other side of there. Oh, Steph's scrolling by.
Is that how they did that one?
Yeah. They use back projection loads in the Alien films. It works so well.
That's a big ass screen. Oh wait, just a wide
just
screen.
put a cinema screen behind it and project stuff
Idiot.
on it.
I'm sort of thinking, wait, that's a TV screen? No, it's
No.
huge. Idiot. Projector, you tool.
What a spaz.
I think of the most complicated way of doing things. This is why I don't make films.
Jesus Christ. Always a spasmodic. Wheelie bin.
It was what the luminous purple pipes do at the side.
I don't know. I think they're supposed to be hot and glowing.
The thing is,
TV back. I was going to do that thing where, like, the dogs in Up go squirrel. Every time there's a recognisable piece of prop.
a recognisable piece of formed plastic.
Yeah. I know what that is. There's another one there. It's a good thing she wasn't standing there.
Yeah, these arcs of electricity bouncing around.
There's a Terminator coming in. It just teleports in behind her.
That would be fantastic. if
Arnie rises up behind her like, wait, what? Give me your clothes, your boots, and a motorcycle. I don't have a motorcycle. It's your clothes. Yeah, I think those pipes are just supposed to be hot. I assume. I don't know. I'd be lying if I said it hasn't always bothered me.
Are they actually fluorescent, or is it just my TV?
No, they are glowing.
It might just be the lighting. They might just be red pipes.
No, they're not. I've noticed it many a time watching it and gone, why are they glowing?
Is she wearing the same boots that Marty McFly was wearing in back to the
No, they're bug stompers. They were specifically made by Reebok for the film.
And they're called bug stompers.
Yeah, and you could buy them you can still get them if
I would never wear shoes like this.
They're awesome, cool.
I'd wear the Nike shoes out of Back to the Future. I would never wear them.
They're coming out, aren't they, like, next year? They're bringing them out, and they say that they're actually going to be able to do that thing. They have pneumatic laces.
Well, I mean, it's 2015.
So you can do that, but you can't do hoverboards. Who gives a shit about the shoes? I want a flying DeLorean. Fuck that.
Yeah, where's my
flying DeLorean? Goddamn hoverboard. Don't give a shit about a fucking pair of shoes.
Actually, I'll take the extending baseball bat.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah,
I'll be happy with that.
Batter up.
Anyway, back to Aliens.
Oh, we know how it ends.
Everyone died.
Yeah, everything explodes in a big ball of fire.
Except Newt.
Oh.
Why does Newt survive?
Well, she gets killed in the next one.
Thank Christ.
Oh, for fucking hell's sake. Did you write it?
Yeah. It's fan fiction. It's quite obviously fan fiction. See, she's covered in mucus. Leave it be.
It looks like sugar. I always think it is.
Oh, actually, it would be brilliant if she was already impregnated and just didn't know it. And that was where the facehugger came from.
Why would the facehugger come from that?
No, it would have been an alien.
You're an idiot.
Idiot.
As great as this film is, this is the worst the eggs have ever looked. In all of the movies. They literally look like they're made out of cardboard or something in this.
It's because there's so many of them. I mean, in Alien, there's only one that opens.
There's only one that opens, but there are hundreds of them.
Yeah, you see hundreds of them, but there's only one that opens.
Yeah, but you only see one opening.
They spend a lot of time sort of dwelling on how it opens, how the sort of membrane pulls away.
Yeah, all the inside looks amazing. But the ones in Alien Resurrection look incredible. Whatever the film, whatever you think. Those eggs look amazing.
I mean, they didn't spend a lot of time on them here because they're not on in the film for that long.
The one in Alien 3 looks better, actually. Even though you see it for like a split second. That always looks weird. I always think there's like a weird bit of matte painting or something going on in there.
There's probably a whole.
It looks slightly like 80s computer generated. You know, like out of an 80s music video, and it's a bit odd.
Superimposed in the dodgy way. You took a wrong turn.
There's a slight mistake in this shot, and I can always see it, and it annoys me.
What is it?
It's like one of those things that once you spot, you can never unsee it. I think it's the bit where she's pulling away from the... Well, when she's blowing up all the eggs, and the alien queen's thrashing around, she kind of looks up and left, and there's a big gap between the neck and the head, and you can see this big piece of metal, like the actual puppet armature underneath.
Oh, what, the alien?
Yeah, and it's like, oh...
For a second there, I thought you were talking about Sigourney Weaver.
No. It's
the
just
puppet,
like, yeah,
the puppet
she's a
mechanism of
robot.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, the puppets. She's a Terminator.
Oh, right, that's what the election
Okay, that was it. Yeah, she was beaming in from the future. What the hell is that?
You wouldn't stop and examine this thing. What I really like...
It's the huge bone throne thing that she's on. It's absolutely incredible.
What I like here, though, is the hood that the mouth sort of comes out
well, the whole
underneath
head
it.
is up underneath the thing. It's like it doesn't need to be out most of the time. She's just asleep, pumping out eggs.
And she doesn't make that sort of squealing sound. She just sort of hisses at things.
One alien. 2 aliens.
That's all that's left.
I'm betting that's it, yeah. I think one sneaks up behind her in a minute.
Clever girl.
Yeah. Or not, because she blows it away. Not too smart. Because she didn't drop a one-liner and then get killed. You do the one-liners after they're dead. See, look, you can see the bit of metal. It annoys me. It's so, like, all the effects are so flawless in this. And then there's that one thing, and I can't unsee it. I always think, I'll just look away and the magic will be there. Oh.
I mean, it does show you how massive that thing must have been, though.
It was huge. It's like 4 guys inside it. And even though I know how they did the fight at the end, like the techniques that they used, I still can't tell. Do you know what I mean?
What, how they did a lot of them?
Yeah, in the battle, because there's like little 3/4 miniatures and all sorts of things. So like rod puppets and all sorts of stuff.
It must have taken absolutely ages to film, and they just cut it really well.
Exactly, but it's just like you just cannot tell. It's so good.
I love the
squiggling around.
I love the look that Weaver sort of gives it. He's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, the little head cut.
There you go.
Thing. Shouldn't even need to say anything.
Barbecue.
Like... Anyone wants fried eggs?
Out.
Fried eggs, anyone?
And that's the last of the aliens. Go on.
What was known as 3? I really think that's it, you know.
Well, there were only 3 in that room with her, really. And a shitload of eggs.
That was a lot.
Again, ammo conservation. That counter only goes up to...
No, this is some kind of... It's 99. It's some kind of cathartic. She's having some moment here, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's exercising some demons.
Well, that was the whole purpose of it going back to this planet in the first place. All she needs to do at this point is say therapy.
One more. Blast it.
Is that it? Is that all the aliens did? That's the last. That's the last. Aside from the Queen, that's the last one, isn't it?
Just throw the whole belt full of bombs in there.
That's where Hellboy got the idea.
Sure, yeah. I think I saw this film once. That worked.
I mean, we know how powerful all this stuff. And wasn't she lecturing all the guys before, saying, "Don't fire anything in the reactor"?
Well, I think that's the ship has sailed on that. It was already melting down.
I always think that's bit's kind of horrible where she tears her own arse off.
But they like ants and stuff, certain types.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it any more or less pleasant to look at.
No, I didn't say it was pleasant to look at, but it's like I don't think it damages it in any way.
How did the alien queen get through there?
Well, she didn't, did she? She's grown up in there. Oh, you mean when she gets out? She goes another way, I think.
I think it's Alien. I think it's the first Alien versus Predator where you actually see a CGI alien queen sort of charging down the corridor.
I don't think it's as graceful as the one in this.
No, it's not graceful at all, but it's scary.
Yeah.
It's the thing. She's sort of like angry and thrashing around.
Well,
and she's still got a collar on
down the corridor now in a minute behind her. Ripping through the... Like all the pipes and everything. Here she comes. Come on. Fucking lifts, man. It's lovely because it's like, well, how did she get in the lift? Because she called both of them. So it just opens. Here it comes.
You.
Yeah.
It's just sort of a peek around the corner.
Wait for it. You get more. It comes right up to the lift.
Oh, there we go.
Here it comes.
Gradually
Just
staggering
straight
along.
through that ladder like it's made out of plastic. It's like, oh my god. That's big.
See, this is why you shouldn't have used all your ammunition before.
Well, in fairness to her, you'd think like 100 bullets and an entire bandolero full of grenades would do something.
Yeah, but she was shooting at the eggs.
It.
She was shooting at the eggs and the egg
blew
sac.
the holes in the sack thing.
Didn't touch the main body of the queen. Go for the head. Headshot.
Yeah, but then you didn't get like robot versus space bug mutant monster thing.
And that killer line.
Yeah.
That killer and much parodied line. Bishop, you
Bishop.
son of a bitch!
What an asshole after all that.
It's because he knew she was coming back with Newt.
Yeah.
As soon as he worked out she was on the way back with Newt, he just said, "No, fuck it, that kid's a pain in the arse." She fell.
I'm not sure, but I'm betting that is full of monsters. It's got a whole load of space monster inside it.
With all the flames and stuff going on, he'd probably be barbecued anyway by now.
There's all the big pieces of steel that keep dropping down as well. So
yeah, this place isn't very well built.
Head stove down. Do reactors do this when they melt down? Does everything just catch fire and stop falling apart?
I don't know. I don't think.
Or is it just kind of?
I think Chernobyl just kind of exploded in one big fireball. I don't think it sort of gradually fell apart like the...
No. It's dramatic license, though, isn't it? It's a bit more impressive.
It's a big building.
Yeah. It's a really big building.
I'm back.
Power back projection, mode.
Well, where they're using a really big TV screen.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. The biggest TV ever made, specifically for this film. Oh, Phil.
Okay, I made a mistake. Let it go.
You brought it up. Just so I could mock you. I'm still not entirely sure where she actually gets in.
I think she just hangs onto the outside or something.
Well, she comes out of one of the leg things. I'm just like, how does that fit in there?
Because they're not that big, are they?
The one at the back is, I think, but I don't know. It always seems a bit dubious to me. And they do fold up quite small, though, don't
I thought the whole purpose of the thing was to be, yeah.
they? That's cool.
Kaboom! It's at this point I like to think that I now like to think that Burke got it. I like to think
everything got it for about 1,000 miles. Amazing what you can do with like an arc light and a whole load of like cotton wool in it.
Is that how they filmed
Yeah,
it?
it's just a big sheet of cotton wool with a light under it.
It was really effective.
And they like push a bit of it up with a stick or something so you get that. And it just cuts away really quick.
It was really fucking effective.
I know, it's awesome, isn't it? I always wondered how they did that. It was in one of the books I read on the making of. And I
never
like,
actually thought about it.
That's brilliant.
I never thought about the clouds actually being a model themselves.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love that transition from atmosphere to space.
I like that in either direction. It's like what they do in Predator, where you see the thing
just
drop
goes down into blue or whatever. It's beautiful.
Where you just suddenly see the planet, it's just suddenly there.
Nah, leave him. He's all fucked up.
Yeah. So, is he already dead? He's fine, he's just sleeping.
He's just sleeping. Wait a minute, if I fall asleep, I'll die. Yeah, because that's the back landing leg, so she must be up in there somewhere. Because it's huge. Wait. Oh, shit.
I like the way that's a sort of nod to the birthing of the aliens anyway.
Yeah, it's nice now.
It's like, oh, is that how that feels?
Yeah.
And this is properly brutal, the way he just tears him in two.
One hand on either side just ripped him off. She's not happy.
Blech. It's the way he's still kicking.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You're screwed now.
That is
She did fit there.
That is a big ass monster. Yeah, they kind of bulked her up for Alien vs Predator, which I think is a shame. Because I really like sort of how feminine she looks in her shape.
I wouldn't say feminine, I'd say more insect-like.
She has high heels, man.
I didn't notice the heels.
She's got stilettos on her feet. It's also a wicked bit of design.
Did Geiger design the Alien Queen, or was
No,
it
it's Cameron. He drew it all up.
I was going to say, if it was Geiger, it would be something way
Geiger
more
had like
obscene.
nothing to do with the second film. He had a little bit to do with Alien 3. As in, he sent him a bunch of drawings. Like off his own back, I think. And then they kind of used him, but without paying him. And there was
that's
a whole
nice.
like lawsuit thing and all sorts of crazy crap happened.
Yeah, because I don't think Geiger would have settled for something as
Elegant.
as an ant hive. A reference as an ant hive.
Yeah.
He would have gone for something way more screwed up.
Well, the original idea was a bit more fucked up than the first one. It just kind of mutated you back into the eggs.
Yeah. The most parodied line in the history of science fiction.
Yeah. So I think...
Get away from her, you bitch!
I think it means you're doing it right when people like...
Well, start parodying it.
Yeah, it's an affectionate thing, isn't it? Also, a whole shit ton of people have to be aware of it before you can parody stuff.
I think it was in Paul, which is the most recent one that it was in.
No, it actually has Sigourney
Yeah,
Weaver
but it
as
was
well,
to
so
Sigourney Weaver. It was this old lady. Get away from him, you bitch!
I bet Sigourney Weaver had a chuckle of her. I think she got quite a good sense of humour. I like to think she has, anyway.
Well, she's one of those actresses you've not heard really anything bad about.
No, she's never really made a dick of herself, has she?
I mean, I think quite a few of the actors from back then, with the exception of maybe Bruce Willis, just aren't dicks because
Yeah.
it was before Hollywood became a Hollywood, really.
Yeah, that's only... It really has... It almost has become a parody of itself now, isn't it?
You've got to be an arsehole.
Yeah.
It's like a prerequisite. There are actors back... I'm not saying that actors don't have egos. Actors have always had egos.
Well, you kind of have to, I think. It's kind of part of being able to do what you do.
She's not a diva.
No,
Basically.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. You don't get that feeling.
Well, you've not heard anything. All we get is second-hand information, unless you actually
it's
met
true.
the person you'd never
Yeah,
know anyway.
exactly. I love that, the little welder thing.
Yeah,
Stop you using that stupid tongue. Which is about the size of your head as well. It's ridiculous.
I love the way the airlock is this stark white.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
It's
Well,
like
you want to know it's there, I think. You want to be aware it's open. There's the design logic behind that.
I think it's pure white because it's never used in that fashion. Like, it's just this section of the ship which is just almost pristine. Because it's like last resort type thing. You wouldn't put anything in there normally.
Stuff comes and goes through the ship, but I don't know well.
Maybe it's just for the contrast between that and the darkness of space.
A whole bunch of reasons.
The
It
way
also
he's-
echoes design elements from the original film as well. There's a lot of... All the airlocks look like that in the first movie. No way, your fucking arm would come off. But never mind. It's great, yeah.
Everything would have been sucked out as soon as that little crack had opened in the door, let alone that.
Bye.
And there's no way
Nothing looks as angry as that. That's the angriest I've ever seen anything.
Yeah, just thrashing around. I'm so pissed off right now.
Just flailing little arms, just going like mad.
Have you seen the film Sunshine?
Yeah, a long time ago.
That has the most realistic sort of depressurization of a spaceship you'll ever see.
I don't think I've seen it. Have you got it?
Yeah.
Oh man, we'll have to watch that and
Silent
Hill, because I haven't seen either of those in ages. I happily watch them both.
But
might want to move your leg, like now.
It's just with the decompression of the ship on that, it takes a second. Like, it cracks open the airlock and everything just gets sucked out within seconds. He's not looking too good there. Why did they have to choose that funky white stuff for the innards? It just looks so horrible.
I know, it's rank, innit?
I really feel bad for the actor that plays Bishop. I can't remember his name.
Lance Henriksen.
But any time they do a shot like that for anyone, anything from this to American Werewolf in London, when they've got something going on with the bottom half of the body, and they have to embed the actor in the set, I really feel bad for them, because working at that kind of angle cannot be good.
Apparently, because obviously, like, John Hurt with the chest burst sequence in the original, it took so long to set that up, they had to catheterize him.
Oh, God,
because he was like, lying there for that long.
Oh, God, that's horrible.
Like, fuck that.
They didnn't tell the actors what was going to happen as well. I only just found out about that.
They knew something.
So the reaction
really screwed up was
real.
Going to happen, but they had no idea what.
It's just they were saying that Ridley Scott was standing in the corner wearing a raincoat.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? Why are you dressed in a raincoat?
That's like Lambert gets it like full in the face, like a proper jet hits her right in the face, and she looks so repelled.
Is that why she sort of goes,
she goes, God! Into the corner, and it's absolutely brilliant. So good, the reaction.
There we go, no more monsters.
Yeah. And then the 3-shot and all together.
It's such a perfect place to end that film.
It's like the echo of the opening as well.
It would have been a perfect place to end the entire franchise, really, had it just been those two. A 2-part thing.
Yeah. That's it, isn't it? But then, Hollywood's got to milk everything to death.
Yeah.
Let's get a bit more out of it. Oh, we've killed it.
Michael Biehn.
Private Wazowski.
Actually, I've recently played that...
Power loader operator John Lees.
Far Cry 3... Blood Dragon, if you played that.
Oh, Blood Dragon, yeah.
I finally got around to playing that and hearing
with the Terminator soundtrack and Michael Biehn.
Yeah, just hearing him growling his way through that was hilarious.
So good, isn't it? So good.
Well, Geiger still gets credited in the end.
Yeah. Ron Cobb answered media. Legend. He gets credited for the original design, right?
Stan Winston was... Oh, he was the director.
Yeah, second unit director, yeah.
I never think of him as anything other than the special effects coordinator on stuff. I never think of him as a director.
Thought of him,
Anyway, legendary film.
Yes.
Aliens. I was about to say Alien 2.
Alien 2.
Alien 2.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I should have done that at the beginning just to annoy all the fans. We're going to watch Alien 2.
The sequel?
The sequel, yeah. Alien Part 2. The breeding.